Welcome into this edition of Hand Raised, guys. I'm Neal McCready. Chase Parham's here. We'll get to him in just 1 second. I'm letting him finishing up a text that he had there. Here he is. I'll prove to you that Chase Parham is here.
It was a text to ignore. Something I wanted to run by you, but I needed to get somehow from my phone to my computer. So the best way to do that was to text it to you, and that way it would go on my iMessage, and then I would be able to move it from there. So that was the reason for that. It's a link that I'll talk about, but you can ignore it. So
okay,
that's what that is.
Fair enough. How are you?
Oh, I'm lovely. I've been here about 30 minutes, give or take. We had to get the new high-tech camera that you see there, guys, hooked up. That's on me. Actually, Haley did it. We'll take zero credit for it whatsoever.
I was going to say, let's give credit where credit belongs.
That is not to either one of us. That was to Haley Melodic there for that help. So, yeah, we got a new camera. Got it on me. When I type now, your screen won't shake. You won't feel like it's the LA earthquake or anything. So that's where we're at.
You do have a certain Auburn vibe going now that I paid no attention when you walked in, but now that I look at you on the screen, you got the blue and orange going. War Eagle.
I studied Auburn all day today because they played Kentucky last week. Look at a bunch of Auburn stuff. I guess I do, don't I?
War Eagle.
I look like a
Bada
like a 1980s Little League baseball coach with the high hat and the whole deal. Maybe that.
Yeah, maybe so.
I don't know. It is a lot of orange and blue though.
Weagle.
Bodygit is not overly annoying. Like there's some that drive me insane. That one's okay. They don't overdo it though.
Rah rah rah, sis boom ba, Weagle, Eagle, War Damn Eagle, kick him in the butt, Big Blue. Hey,
they don't overdo it.
That one's only like once or twice a game.
Yeah, it's not like
the fight song's actually pretty good.
The Auburn fight song.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. That's not bad. It's kind of catchy.
Yeah, I mean, we've been over this 1,000 times. The school that overdoes their fight song is Tulane. Hullabaloo happens freaking
that's not
stop.
Good. That's not good. The best one is USC. That song, when you cover a USC game and that song, they do it on repeat the whole game.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You can't get it out of your head.
Well, I don't know what happens in football. In baseball, Tulane does it basically on every hit and every run scored. So, I mean, you got an offensive day, and, I mean, their fans are tired.
Oh, I bet. That's a long chant.
Yeah, it's a 1, a 2, a hell of a hullabaloo, ray, hullabaloo, ray, vars, ta, vars, ta, Tulane.
Yeah, you're cheering for some strikeouts at that point.
Oh, dude, you're like, just please get me out of here. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I've heard it a lot over the years, but nonetheless, we've got baseball on. What I was getting to is I've been here about 30 minutes. The first words out of Neal's mouth, he was cussing the St. Louis Cardinals. They are in postseason mode. They are rolling to the NL Divisional Series.
Over a really hot Padres team, and they're just destroying them.
He was even to the point going, well, they play the Dodgers next, so there goes that. And then kind of stopped himself mid-sentence and went, hell, who knows? Like, who?
Yeah.
Hard to say what's going to go next with the Cardinals. This camera setup is much better, though. I'm beyond pleased as
we've invested a little bit. We've invested a little bit at MPW Digital into the software. Made some things happen. It does look good. If you are on our YouTube page, do us a favor and subscribe. We would appreciate that.
You have a little button.
I did. It's up. Hit the subscribe button. Do us a favor. If you are looking at our site, there is a ton of content at rebelgrove.com today. Neal's picks are up this morning. Let's see what else is up. The Butcher versus the Bartender, brought to you by LB's Meat Market in Oxford. That is up. We'd appreciate you checking that out on YouTube. Greg and Campbell made their picks today. They only agreed on 2 of the 7 games. So
we got action.
There's a lot of drama on the show. It was actually a really good show. It's the best one we've done today. It's about 30 minutes. It was really entertaining. They were both on their games. It was fun. Let's see. Chase has a story about he studied Auburn and Kentucky, how Ole Miss can beat Kentucky.
We'll get into it a little bit as we go tonight, but
so, yeah. That's there. And then Ole Miss got a commitment earlier today. Jamont Gordon committed to Ole Miss. Zach Berry has that story. And then last night, Ole Miss got a commitment from Tysheem Williams.
Is that right?
Yeah. Adam Friedman with Rivals.com had that story with quotes and everything all ready to go. And Zach Berry had an analysis ready to go as well. So all of that's there. I had a notebook yesterday afternoon, Lane Kiffin talking one last time about Kentucky. So there's a lot of content at rebelgrove.com. And yes, happy birthday to Judy McCready yesterday. So there's a lot there. Carson, my son, turns 14 on Sunday, so it's a big birthday weekend.
Apparently, you said Butcher and the bartender, not the spin instructor.
Did I do that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Butcher versus the spin instructor, not a bartender. Maybe one day she'll be a bartender. I hope not.
Do you think she could pull off cocktails if she had to? Could she make cocktails?
Today, no.
Yeah.
Today, no.
Like in Mad Men, Don Draper would get his daughter when she was like 8. Like he'd be like, "Hey, go make me an old fashioned or a Tom Collins," and the kid would just go in there and stir it up. And I thought, I can't decide what level of parenting that is because it's not good, but there's a part of me that's kind of like impressed a little bit if that was real life. So
yeah,
feels like a 1960s thing though, a little more than a 2020 thing.
It does.
That's in that realm. Lydia and the Mike said they're watching from the hospital. 2 good people there. So thoughts with you guys from there as I'm reading in the stream.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, we're cheering for you, man. I know it's been a long week. I know you're probably hurting a little bit. Keep fighting. You got a bunch of fans here. We're cheering for you big time. So just hang in there. Keep doing what you're doing, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Are these people keep asking about the caps? Are these caps available somewhere?
This is an answer that I can't provide you.
You're not aware of that? We know somebody we can ask.
I mean, I know a person who could give me that answer, but I'd have to text him or call him and ask.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We keep getting asked that, and I don't know. Are you just hitting the little subscribe button a lot, or do you have it like on loop now? Where
it's on loop, but I'll take it off.
No, you're good. I'm glad we figured that out. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, that was mine. I'm fine.
I've watched some tutorials on
You've
eCam.
watched a lot of eCam tutorials.
Got to admit, I've gotten better.
Oh, it's fairly seamless at the moment.
Nah, I wouldn't go there. But,
not bad.
But it's better.
Subscribe and hit the bell, because if you hit the bell, you get notified when we're going live, and that kind of will help you out a little bit, so we would appreciate that. What's going on? Tell us in the stream. What are we drinking? What are we doing? What are we watching? Kind of set us up a little bit. What's going on for all you guys as we're getting going tonight? We're going to talk about lines. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball playoffs because we're watching it. We're watching a little football too on the screen. Good bit of stuff going on tonight. Let's see. I will say today's a big day.
Oh yeah,
and I think you'll agree with this too. Something we don't say very often.
Okay.
I saw this go across on Twitter a second ago. I'm gonna find it. Hold on a minute. I'll tell you. We're gonna agree with Dan Wolken today.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
I just saw this a second ago.
All right, I wasn't braced for this.
Neal and him see completely eye to eye on all the mask policies. I'm kidding. Let's see. Dan Wolken today writing opinion. 3 years in, it's time for Jimbo to earn his pay at A&M with top-notch wins. We agree with Dan Wolken today.
So wait, the college football writer wrote about college football.
He wrote about college football today.
Son of a bitch.
He picked a very high-profile coach and kind of jabbed at him a little bit. Basically, what a college football columnist is supposed to do.
I am flabbergasted.
It only took a 17-12 over win over Vanderbilt to get him there, but by God,
he's waiting for them to go to Alabama and get smoked so that he can go see.
Is he a Vandy alum?
Yeah, Wolken went to Vanderbilt.
Maybe he's just upset
that they beat Vanderbilt.
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean,
Wolken was bragging on Twitter yesterday that he had played pickleball with or against all 3 of the referees that called Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Whoa.
You heard me.
That's a weird flex.
That is an odd flex.
That's a really weird flex.
Yeah. I know.
Have you ever played pickleball?
No.
Have you not?
No.
Have you really not?
Why the hell would I play pickleball?
I play pickleball.
I know. You
I played for a story.
You did it for journalism reasons.
I did.
Although I did find out today that that's safer than young people playing basketball. So
yeah, when I wrote that huge feature on Carolyn Kessner a few years ago, her stipulation was I had to play pickleball with her. And I will say, it's not a bad sport as much as I want to make fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you do some weird stuff because you're used to in tennis, because I've played a little bit of tennis in my life, the ball bounces to you. In pickleball, wherever it hits, it just kind of bounces straight up there. So if you don't kind of get over the ball, you'll look really stupid and like whiff like you're swinging at a changeup when you're expecting something else because it.
Is it a round ball?
It's a wiffle ball. It's literally a wiffle ball.
Okay.
It's a big-ass ping pong paddle-looking thing that's bigger and a wiffle ball.
So you're hitting one of the white wiffle balls with the holes in it?
Yeah. I think it's a – yeah, I don't – it's been a little while, but I think it was just a straight-up wiffle ball. But it's created like a tennis court, and you can't like – I think they call it I forget, it's the kitchen is what they call it. Like you can't get up close to the net or whatever. You got to kind of stay back or whatever. But, yeah, it's doubles mostly, and you're hitting a wiffle ball with a really big ping pong paddle-looking thing.
Okay.
But it's kind of tennis-y other than that. It's slow tennis indoors is what it is.
Okay.
But, I mean, the good people, like, spin the shit out of it, though. I mean,
if you play more than 45 minutes, you run the risk of getting attacked by the virus. That was what I learned
how long do you have to stop before you can go back?
I don't know. I don't know if they've covered all that. There's
Particulars?
just a lot of science that we're still figuring out as it pertains to pickleball and the coronavirus.
Mark says it's the same as platform tennis. I have no idea what platform tennis is. No clue. I'm interested in this. JM says cocktail recipe.
I was reading the exact same thing.
Hot apple cider, lemon wedge, and agave syrup.
All right, let's talk through that.
Yeah, sure.
Cathead honeysuckle, which is very good in and of itself.
Sure.
With hot apple cider, so now you got lemon and apple, a lemon wedge, which just accentuates the lemon.
Sure.
And the agave syrup, which I guess just gives it some sweetness.
Do you have a problem here?
No. What I'm wondering is the apple cider and the agave combined too sweet?
Oh. The cider feels like the bad ingredient if there's a bad ingredient here.
See, I was going to say the agave syrup. Now, how much syrup is my question for JM?
Because we still need another base. I just don't know that apple cider is the way to do it.
If we're talking about just a little bit of syrup, that's okay.
He says the agave wasn't needed, it turns out.
That's what I was thinking, see?
Okay.
I get the rest of it sounds pretty good. It's kind of like a hot toddy.
A hot toddy.
You replace the bourbon with the honeysuckle vodka.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, if you listen to Jonathan Howard, I need to check on Jonathan. I haven't talked to him in a while, but if you listen to Jonathan, a lot of the cocktails, the spirit can be interchanged, and you can make it a different drink.
Well, sure. I mean, an old fashioned is simply a recipe, not bourbon. I mean, everybody goes, "Oh, I want an old fashioned." Everybody automatically assumes you're bourbon. Old fashioned just means a liquor of sweetness and bitters. That's it.
I did an old fashioned with the Cathead pecan vodka,
and
it was pretty good.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Shit, made me laugh. Ask your friends at the next game meeting.
You did drink some on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, again, it was never about not. I don't know. It's whatever. Let's see. Yeah, Cathead hot toddy. That's fine.
Yeah.
Ben Leslie says I look like Clemson's get back guy. Neal almost spit drink everywhere across the Clark Ford studio there.
Like it. That's good.
Assistant strength coach vibe is what it is.
Yeah.
Work for Wilson Love.
Yeah, just start yelling in a minute. And you'll have it down.
So, Jesus. Let's see. Ole Miss did pick up defensive tackle Jamont Gordon. He's been moonlighting at East Mississippi here recently. What are the Rebels getting in this defensive tackle?
Don't ask me. Zach wrote it. I was looking at you like, whoa, hold up. Dude.
That's not been your area lately, has it? I don't know.
Today, Zach said something about Jamont Gordon. I went, who's that?
Well,
and I was like, wait, I do know that name. He signed with Auburn originally, and he's kind of bounced around a little bit.
Well, no, okay. So here's how much Neal and I don't do. This is probably bad for business, but
I pay Zach.
Well, I'm aware of that. But you said you told me today you were like, hey, can you go in and basically edit Zach's story because one of us needs to do that typically just because we are checking on our employee there.
I was out walking the dogs.
Yeah, it was fine. And you said Jamon Gordon, and you said it, and at first I thought you were just giving a name example, because like you just said a sentence and you were like, yeah, like a recruit Jamont Gordon, and what went through my mind was Jamont Gordon, the basketball player who played at State back in the day. I thought you literally just pulled random athlete out of your head.
No.
I didn't know there was a Jamont Gordon. I thought a Jamont Gordon who played at Mississippi State back in the day, that's probably a little younger than me, but fairly close to my age.
That might be why I remembered the name.
Yeah, Jamont Gordon played at State.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him.
Okay.
I know
apparently he's good.
The DB they got yesterday sort of fits the mold of what they're going for. Athletic, long. They're having a pretty good DB recruiting class, Ole Miss is. They're starting, if you look at their ranking by star average per recruit or whatever the hell that is, they're easing in around the 20th range.
And that's before this, right?
They're starting to put together a pretty good class, considering the fact that you can't bring anybody to campus and you can't go see anybody.
Brandon Herring, thank you for the super chat. Kick off our night with those. Really appreciate you. He said, forgot my first golf lesson. Went from hitting 125 to go 102 at Big Oaks.
Ooh, that's a good
Love
number.
The show, guys. Fan since 2012. You'll kick Neal's ass.
Oh, yeah, he destroyed me.
102 will get it done.
I can shoot a 152.
You absolutely can.
Yeah, I can hit a 152.
100%. No issue there whatsoever for you. Let's see what else we got in this.
What the hell are we talking about tonight?
I mean, we got stuff. I'm just still getting settled in a little bit.
I get to Thursday, and I'm hit the wall a little bit.
Yeah, you sort of go.
Well, because my week is
because we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then your podcast schedule is really you got it one Friday morning too. But
I've got 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
I've got one with Chris, and then Zach and I are doing a soft verbal. But today I did a Butcher versus the spin instructor.
You didn't do that tool today?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did a beer garden today, which was really interesting. I talked to a subscriber of ours who's a Democratic pollster, and we talked about how they do polls and how hard it is to do polls now, and it was really good. That's up where you get Tinder calls. That's up where you get wherever you get podcasts. It's up at rebelgrove.com as well. So it's really good. It's not I promise it's not a Trump versus Biden breakdown or whatnot. Really good. And then I did a Mind on My Money today too. So that's why I'm kind of like.
Covered a lot of
I kind of hit I've hit the wall a little. But I'm good. Tomorrow all I have is the 2 podcasts. I've got to write something. I don't know what the hell I'm going to write.
Food for thought's not completed to this point?
No, it's been started. I was kind of right about Joey Gatewood and his potential impact on the game.
Which I'm going to say is minimal.
I would think it's minimal.
I don't think they're going to play him much.
I mean, he's available, but I wouldn't think he's practiced
Terry Wilson's
much.
got a lot of capital with that roster. He's back. He didn't play necessarily well, but it's kind of what I wrote about today. Auburn is really good on defense, and anybody who plays Kentucky goes, hey, stop the run, don't let them chew clock, make them throw. I mean, all the cliches of that type of roster.
Yeah.
But Auburn did it to a T. From an execution standpoint that Ole Miss can try to emulate, but they've got to do it well. They've got to do it correctly, and that's a little bit
Auburn and Georgia are both really, and Alabama are all really good on defense. Kind of hard to compare, but we'll see. Ole Miss has to tackle. You're right. Ole Miss has to tackle a lot better.
Ole Miss missed 16 tackles against Florida.
I'm surprised it was that
Saturday.
few. Really, when I saw that number, I was like, really? That's
You thought that was it?
Oh, I thought that was like 25.
Really?
They missed a lot of tackles.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably break it down on who missed the most. But anyway, it's 16 as a team. And that allowed Florida. Florida had over 150 rushing yards after contact on Saturday. Meaning after the first hand was on a Florida defender, you start the clock and how many ever yards they get from that point.
Yeah.
Florida averaged 5.5 yards per carry after contact.
Ooh.
On Saturday. That's not good.
I don't know if you have it. Like what in comparison to what did Kentucky get against Auburn?
Well, glad you asked.
Okay.
I have it here. It's in the story, so let me find it. Auburn tackling. Where are we talking about Auburn tackling? It is up here. 1 second. Auburn, by the way, only missed 4 tackles.
Yeah, no, they're really good defensively.
4.
They're really good.
That was
very fundamentally sound. They're in the right place.
The Tigers, reading from my story, exemplary tackling allowed Kentucky to only pick up 1.53 yards after contact per rush.
Well, that's a little bit of a difference, 1.5 and 5.5. That's
4 yards.
That's a difference.
4 yards a rush after contact.
That will change a game.
Meaning when Auburn got a hand on a Kentucky player, that was it.
Yeah. No, they were really good. The best defensive teams that I saw last week, maybe in order, were Auburn, Georgia, Alabama.
But see here,
Alabama in the first half against Missouri was really good. Alabama in the second half looked like they checked out a little bit.
What stuck out to me is that Auburn blitzed Terry Wilson 13 times out of his 42 dropbacks. Now, because Kentucky couldn't run the ball, Wilson had to throw it more. He threw it 37 times. He had 42 dropbacks. He was 6 of 10, but that's not really the point. Whether he had pressure or didn't have pressure, he still did the same thing. He was just dumping the stupid thing short. Yeah. Everything was either behind the line of scrimmage or inside 10 yards. He did very little down the field. He threw the ball at receiver. I'm forgetting his name. I had it here a second ago. I don't know. Anyway, Josh Ali. He threw the ball down the field at Josh Ali a few times. But Terry Wilson, factoring in everything, because it really was the same either way, whether he was facing blitz, facing pressure, not facing blitz, not facing pressure. 21 of his 24 completions were fewer than 10 yards down the field. 10 of them were behind the line of scrimmage. So 40% of Wilson's completed passes did not even reach the line of scrimmage in the air. He's doing nothing but putting Kentucky, dumping it over, and then wanting Kentucky receivers to do a lot of damage, which is not what they're built for. Kentucky doesn't have this slew of playmakers.
No, there's no Kyle Pitts over there.
No. And there's no Elijah Moore where when he gets loose with the ball in his hands, he's doing crazy stuff. There's no Jerrion Ely.
Or the kid for Auburn, Williams, is that his
Sammy
name?
Williams.
Yeah, he's a stud.
So they don't have that kind of thing. So if you can stop the run at all, you can kind of bring everybody up. They're not going to go over your head. They're not going to beat you deep, but you have to tackle kind of point there to make it off. You don't do that, and Cavassier Smoke and those guys, they're gonna get after you. I mean, and I'm curious too. Look, it's not Florida. Kentucky's pretty good defensively. I want to say the Ole Miss
especially on the
offense.
back end.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say the Ole Miss offense on Saturday because this is not push over Kentucky on defense. They're pretty good. They've recruited a lot of four-star guys.
Yeah.
They've got into Florida really well. I mean, I think mistake of the century because I think you would have taken it. Florida State not getting Mark Stoops feels like a massive error.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because I don't believe in Mike Norvell down there.
No, look, Saturday for Ole Miss is so intriguing because I think it's a game you tell me if you disagree.
Sure.
It's a game where I think Ole Miss could lose by 10 plus. Ole Miss could lose by 10 or less. Ole Miss could win by 10 or fewer. And Ole Miss could win by 10 plus.
You think anything's on the table?
I think anything within 14 points
what
either
what
way
would you
is
rule
on
out
the table.
first?
Ole Miss winning by 10 plus.
Sure, yeah.
Secondly, I'd rule out Kentucky winning by 10 plus.
You expect a close game.
I do. I expect a fourth quarter game.
I didn't even look. What'd you pick today?
Kentucky by 1.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. 35-34.
Kentucky just barely winning a close game.
Did anyone take Kentucky to cover in our group?
No.
Okay.
The rest of y'all picked Ole Miss to win.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Campbell is the only person that picked Kentucky to cover.
What was her reasoning?
I don't know that she had it there at home. They're at home.
The Krogerfield crowd was going to make
She just felt like, yeah.
That's fair. As good as anything else. What's Kentucky allowing in their stadium? Are they doing 25%?
That's a great question.
I have no clue.
We have Jeff Drummond coming on Saturday morning. We'll ask him.
Who's he coming? I mean, sorry, Kentucky. For who? For whom?
Rivals.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Right. I don't know. Whatever.
It's okay.
We have sites we can deal with, and that is not one.
I don't know everybody at Rivals.
Did you know Jeff Drummond?
A little bit.
You knew his name.
I knew Roland more than I knew.
I know him. If they don't post on the pubs board or have some interaction, I don't. Whatever.
So the plan for Saturday, by the way, is we'll come on at 1. Ryan Brown's going to join us. I think I'm going to tape something. We're going to try this. So in the event that you're on and it is disconcerting, don't freak out. Taylor Zarzer is covering the game for SEC Network. I think I'm going to record with Taylor a little earlier on Saturday on a Zoom call and put that into the show. I'm not going to do
just
long.
to give it a shot.
Just to give it one try. And if it doesn't work, it's all
we
good.
We need to know how to do this for later, so we're –
Yeah. So we'll do that. I'll put him in, and then we're going to talk to Jeff, and we might take a call or two. I don't know. And we'll go till 2:50, and then we'll stop, and we'll get you set. We'll come back for game day at 3, Ole Miss and Kentucky at 3. Pete DeWeese will join us for the second quarter like we did last week. And then we'll do hand raise guys. We'll probably start hand raise guys quicker this time. Chase doesn't even know this because we haven't talked about it. I'm going to let Chase and Haley do the meal thing together.
Okay.
And I'll sit here during halftime. We won't even disappear. I'll take calls.
Okay.
If y'all want to take calls, I'll take some calls. We'll talk during the half, and then we'll figure out post game. Ole Miss is
But you said we're going to start sooner.
We're going to start sooner because I think Ole Miss's Zoom call is going to be really quick.
It's road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as of today, talking to people at Ole Miss, they weren't really sure how that was going to work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There seemed to be almost some confusion, which I get. That's not a criticism. This is crazy.
Yeah, you're zooming on the road. I mean,
zooming on the road and figuring it out. So,
wouldn't it make sense to all use the same feed home and away? Like, all go to the same place?
It would.
Like basketball would do if
the
it were
difference
basketball?
is Kentucky's in a different spot, just like with Ole Miss. You know, when Ole Miss plays a game in Oxford, who comes to Ole Miss next? Alabama. Alabama will be in a totally different place using a totally different feed. No one's used to this. I wouldn't have a problem, frankly, if Ole Miss and they do have a couple people there who could just ask some generic questions, get the video, and just send it to us.
Yeah,
it's a one-off.
Hit the 5 or 6 things and
just to hell with it.
How was Matt Corral? How was the defense? What'd you think?
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Any injuries? Cool.
Yeah.
Which he's not going to answer. So
no, he's not going to answer that anyway.
What formations do you wish you used a little more tonight, Lane? Kind of break those down for us.
Yeah. I mean,
schematically,
where we get him on Monday and we can dive into it a little bit if we feel like it. It's just I've talked to so many different media people. It's just such a different year. But that's the plan. So we'll see how it works.
It's a good plan. Good.
200 tickets left yesterday, according to Leif, for Kroger Field. It's 20% is what they're 12,000 fans allowed at Kentucky.
12,000.
I like that stadium. It's a cool stadium.
I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know. It's a stadium. I like it. I like stadiums.
So, what are we watching, by the way? Football, baseball?
I think I had football on because you sort of shamed me out of the baseball.
No, that's fine.
Turned it.
I mean, you really want to watch a Cardinals blowout?
No.
I mean, it's
Cardinals up
4-0.
4-0. Here's what's crazy. Tell me how crazy this is. The Cubs and Marlins rained out today, although it didn't rain until late. The Cubs will play at 1 if there's another game tomorrow. So if the Padres beat the Cardinals or the Brewers beat the Dodgers late tonight, the Cubs play at 1. If both of these games, if the Cardinals win and the Dodgers win, the Cubs don't play till 6. So if you're the Cubs, you kind of go to bed tonight not knowing what time you play. That's not good.
You get the wrong starting pitcher with that being the case, and he would literally drive himself insane. You get one of those temperamental left-handers that's starting tomorrow, and, couldn't be able to handle it.
Darvish is kind of
a little routine-oriented, a little temperamental.
Yeah, a little eccentric. By the way, congratulations to the Braves. Pitched the hell out of that series.
Reds don't score in 22 innings.
Yeah. And as someone who watched...
They're doing this without Mike Soroka.
As someone who watched a lot of Reds baseball, it's really impressive. Also, congratulations to the Oakland A's. They beat the Chicago White Sox. The A's are fun to watch.
I like the A's. For whatever reason, I do. I really like the A's. In the AL, the A's and the Twins are kind of fun to me. I like those two.
Yankees beat the Indians. The end of the Francisco Lindor era, I would suspect. They had a hell of a run. Came awfully close to winning the World Series. Thank God they didn't.
So do you think this game's over?
Oh, no. The Padres got 2 on, nobody out. Here we go. Lifelong Padre fan.
Rally time in San Diego.
Yeah, boy.
Drew Pomeranz is a Padre.
Is he with the Padres?
Isn't he?
I don't know.
I think so, right?
I have an irrational dislike for Adam Wainwright. It's one of those things that's weird. Like if he and I sat down together, we'd probably like one another.
But
he's a Cardinal pitcher, and I hate him.
yes, he's a San Diego Padre.
Drew is.
Yeah.
Starter or reliever?
He's in the pen right now, I think.
A hell of a career.
He's hung around.
Yeah, made a lot of money.
Played for a lot of teams. He had that kind of that rejuvenation a couple years ago, and it allowed him to get some contracts, get some deals.
Here's your boy Mitch Moreland.
Oh yeah, I swear I really thought if he'd have told me one or the other, he would have been a pitcher.
Moreland?
Growing up,
Yeah.
it was not even close. I mean, big left-hander, could really throw it. I thought, close for state. He was on the mound when they beat Clemson to go to Omaha in 07.
You faced him in high school, right?
Yeah, we played against each other in high school. I don't remember him doing a ton of damage against me. I do remember Bill Hall hitting a ball 550 feet off of me when he was a senior and I was a freshman.
That's a long way.
That was a welcome to the show moment a little bit for me, who was about 5'4" and threw about 62 miles an hour.
That's when you thought, so
freshman.
I'm not going to pitch in the bigs.
Guys that just came through there, though, he played for Nettleton. And over the course of a couple years, they had him, Jeffrey Ray, who was just a menace at Mississippi State, leadoff hitter, hit number 2 in the lineup a little bit, and then Kennard Springer, kid who I think he was drafted maybe by the Royals or whatever, but never panned out or anything. So for a pretty small school, they had some sticks come through there over a few years. But yeah, Mitch, good dude. He signed with State. Frankly, he got turned off because Ole Miss focused all of his recruiting on being the next Stephen Head.
Really?
Yeah, he got really frustrated by literally they did nothing but mention Stephen Head over and over and over and over. Again.
I don't like that. That's
it
not
was
a good
not
idea.
No, it was you're the next.
Because Stephen Head
next.
wishes he would have been the first Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, well, think Stephen would give up the 3-time All-American for the major league career. Yeah,
yes.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Mitch has been a professional hitter for a long time now.
That's what he is.
Yeah. He's a professional hitter. He actually won a Gold Glove.
Yeah, I know. He's had a hell of a career.
Yeah, good dude.
Yeah, he's a hard out. This is a battle of two dudes who are absolute major league grinders right here. Adam Wainwright, Mitch Moreland. Two guys who are not superstars, never will be, but two guys who are pros. Someone wants to know, do you think Eric wants to know if any pro rebs would come back to Ole Miss and be an assistant coach. It's such a lifestyle change.
Yeah, if you said, hey, they can come be something where they're not out on the road recruiting, sure. I will tell you, that's just in the stream, because I'm curious what y'all think. I mean, I think a lot of people would go, yeah, absolutely. Jason McDuffie said Kennard got drafted higher than Bill Hall. Yeah, I remember that. I seem to recall. I do have a crush on Drew Pomeranz. I always have. Yeah, 100%.
That's okay.
We were never close. He was fun to cover. I mean, I have some guys I've covered who I'm actually kind of friends with and close to, and I like them in that way. But Drew was never like that chummy guy.
Drew was never the guy who was going to get chummy with a media member.
No, I mean.
But he was fine.
Yeah. He'll respond to my text or something these days, but he's not,
really?
Hey, come have a drink and come hang out. I mean, that's not his deal. Let's see. I was asking something else in the thread. Here's what I was going to say.
Okay.
If you're an Ole Miss baseball fan, what do you think about Mickey Callaway replacing Mike? What do you think?
I mean, okay.
There's positive and negatives. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I would probably at a place like Ole Miss want to get somebody that has college baseball head coaching experience.
Because I think he'd take it.
Mickey?
Yeah.
I do too. And he's a good guy, a
Whenever
good baseball manager. You'd have to make sure you surrounded him with staff who got it.
A lead assistant that's really
elite
good.
Assistant who understood how to – because there'd be a learning curve. Because being a major league manager, as cool as that is, and being a college baseball head coach are not the same thing.
I think there's a possibility. We wouldn't do it for a long time. I think DeLucci would consider coming back as an assistant and doing it if you wanted him.
Maybe.
Well, they asked the question, former Rebs. Like that. Those are the people who come to my mind.
Who's the guy at East Carolina?
Cliff.
Cliff. Sorry. He'd have to say no first.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just a thought. No, look, Mickey Callaway is one hell of a pitching coach. I mean, the manager thing went poorly in a really bad place, but
it didn't really go that poorly. The Mets
they're a train wreck.
The Mets are, under their previous ownership, as big of a disaster as you can find in professional sports. A disaster. He did a pretty good job. Jacob deGrom won a Cy Young. I mean, there's just only so much you can do.
Didn't handle the media very well.
See, that's the crap they do. He's safe. But that's the crap they do. That should be a ball rolling down into the left field corner. He wouldn't feel
Nobody got an out, though, did they?
He got one out.
He
stepped on third. It's 4-1 now. I know nobody can see it. Padres scored a run. Watch this play. I mean, just like that dude. I have an irrational hate for them. I realize it's not healthy. I understand it.
You do. You say it's all kind of the same. It's not. It's by far the Cardinals more than anybody else.
Oh no, I hate them more than I hate them more than anyone else.
I mean, we're getting real time reactions before we even started.
I felt bad for the Reds today, and they're in the same division. I should hate them more than I do.
You have a soft spot for the Reds.
I do.
Is it because they haven't been a bother?
No, it's because I like Joey Votto a ton.
So if he started playing with the Cardinals, then you're all good?
No, but I like Joey Votto a lot. I like Trevor Bauer a lot. I like Nick Castellanos a lot. I like Eugenio Suarez a lot. Pedro Strop was with the Reds this year. I like him a lot. I like their team. I like the ballpark. I like the city.
You don't like Skyline chili. Come on.
No, I don't like the chili.
I mean, come on.
No, I don't like the chili.
Yeah, what is that?
It's I know cinnamon.
I know what it is. Why is that what we're hanging our hat on?
It's like you took some chili and you dropped cinnamon toast in it and you went, oh, let's put it in a blender.
And put it on spaghetti.
And then you put it on spaghetti with no flavor. By the way, I made a chili the other night with poblanos.
Okay.
Fantastic.
See, I like a really hearty chili. I like a thick beans, meat.
That's what this was. This was black beans. This was black beans and the red kidney beans.
Yeah, I use those both too.
So good. It was delicious. It was excellent. Like Carson went back for thirds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it overly hot?
No.
Okay.
No, the poblanos.
What have you done with those serranos and jalapenos yet?
I've crushed those jalapenos.
Have you?
Yeah.
The serranos, not as much?
Not as much.
They're hotter.
Because they're hot.
I mean,
but I'll put jalapenos.
Like I said, I just grabbed one the other night and kind of went, a little bit. It was.
I put jalapenos on everything. I put the jalapenos on that chili. So good.
Okay.
Did it the night of the debate.
Well,
we're 10 minutes in. You're like, yeah, we needed to drink more.
Yeah, you were better than me because you hung in there.
I watched the whole thing.
I couldn't.
I finished it.
Like 45 minutes, and I went, okay, I'm not learning anything. I'm not getting any news. I'm doing nothing at this point. So there's just no reason. So.
But I don't like the Brewers, but I don't know that I hate them. The Cardinals, it's hate.
Ooh.
Most overrated and underrated Rebel in the last 20 years at Ole Miss in any sport.
I mean, I probably need a minute.
Yeah, I'd have to really think about that.
I mean, I hate to just throw some names out there.
I've had more mezcal than I need to have to think about that.
I'm trying to think of just underrated football players who actually dictated things more than they get credit
Mike Hilton.
See, that was the first thought that went to my head, but I feel like he's so known as underrated that he's not underrated.
At Ole Miss, he was underrated.
Okay.
No one talks about him at Ole Miss as like a future pro star. Cody Core.
Okay. Pierce Burton.
Yeah.
Jalen Walton.
Oh, he was good.
Had a really productive career. For that matter, Jeff Scott. Weird and ended weirdly.
Jeff Scott had a weird ending to his career, so that's how you judge him, which is not fair.
Number 2 wide receiver at a time when they had to have it, Vince Sanders. Better career than he gets credit for.
Vince had a better career than he gets credit for sure.
Yeah, Cody Pruitt's popularly rated. Joe Gunn would be more, and I know he's an Amory boy, but that's more Neal's area than mine. I was still in high school.
Woodrow Hamilton?
For some of it.
Woody Hamilton?
That's a good one.
Had a big-time career. Totally overshadowed.
It's funny. Two posts in a row, neither one of them saw the other one. Marshall is underrated in terms of relevance he brought to the program. Marshall has to be the most overrated. Back-to-back post. Might tell you it's properly rated for Marshall Henderson.
That's about right.
Sinquest Golson underrated.
Yeah.
All-American corner that really dictated things in 2014.
Cody Pruitt was underrated.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think he gets the credit? He's
a good player.
Big Ben says Marquise Haynes.
No, he got credit.
He was their pass rusher.
He got credit. I'm trying to think who's overrated. Shea Patterson. For sure.
I mean, is he really rated highly?
He was. People talked about he was going to be a program changer.
Well, yeah, I get that. Because that's like a lot of people would say, overrated Greg Little. It was unfair to him that he replaced Larry.
No, he wasn't overrated.
He had a good career.
No,
he just wasn't 78.
He was a good player.
Yeah. I don't.
Tig Barksdale. Overrated.
Well, some of those.
Some of those are bust.
Yeah, like Brazel, Tobias.
Yeah, for sure.
Jamal Mosley.
Yeah.
The level of problem he was for that program in 7,000 ways.
Trey Elston, he was rated about right. People understood how good he was.
No problem.
People understood he was a good player. People knew he was going to be a pro.
Somebody says under defensive end Stevens. That's a manual. He had a good career.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to nitpick that, but that's fine.
Liggins.
Crazy.
His commitment ceremony that night will be one of those nights that I just shake my head at the rest of my life. Getting badgered by a media member for picking LSU.
Yeah.
Jeremy, why? Why?
He was in his emotions.
Why? Not like a brother or somebody to step in and go, okay, that's it. That's it. I mean, I will say it was kind of weird for him on the square. I mean, it is what it is. But
Robert Kimdichie overrated?
Yeah, because he was rated the number one player in the country, and he wasn't the best player on his team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were watching the Monday night game the other day, and Carson was talking about Mahomes, and Chris Jones made a play.
Real quick, good. That's actually a good one. Marcus Tillman, incredibly underrated.
Yes.
Stalwart defensive end, and one of Orgeron's only actual recruiting victories over. He was from Mississippi, but he beat LSU in a pretty tough battle. He's from Franklin County.
Yeah. So I was talking to Carson. We were talking about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs or whatever, and
Sure.
Chris Jones made a play, and I was telling him how close Ole Miss came to getting Chris Jones. If you remember that morning, I got in the car to drive to Houston, Mississippi.
I remember that, yeah.
And we were talking about, he goes, well, how good would Ole Miss have been if they had had him? And so I said, you know what? That's a great question. And we started talking about it, and I said, I think they would have been a national title winner.
With Chris Jones.
Yeah. On a defensive line with Robert Kimdichie and those cats?
Oh, yeah, because inside, good God.
No one would have beaten them. Who would have beaten them?
Because they're blowing everything up.
Well,
frankly, it motivates Robert more.
Yeah, you think about who.
It pulls him in more to where he actually.
I think they would have won a title. I realize I'm hitting you with a wild card that you weren't prepared for, but if you give it some thought, we were sitting there talking about it on Monday night, and I was like, yeah, it's a great question, Carson. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know who they. I was like, who did that team lose to? Who did those teams lose to? And I started thinking that he might have made a difference in those games. He would have been the best defensive player on Ole Miss's team.
Well, yeah. But just the way he would have opened everybody else up.
On a team full
and made those linebackers better, because that was already a thing anyway, was the defensive line really helped the linebackers be a little better because they weren't great.
On a team full of good defensive players, they would have been even better. He makes Sinquest Golson a step better. Mike Hilton a step better. Cody Pruitt a step better.
Who's the other corner on that team?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
That's
that's your strength, not mine. I can't.
I don't
remember.
know.
Now, you can ask me about who was the Cubs shortstop in 1982, and I'm like, oh,
here's that guy,
Ivan De Jesus.
Oh God.
Yeah, Chris Jones was absolutely going to Ole Miss until the morning of signing day, no doubt.
That is very true. I know more about that than I ever want to know.
I know
about
more
that.
about. I know more about that deal than I want to know. I'll second that.
There's still some. No, nothing.
Wainwright out of the game. They're going to Gomber to bases loaded, 1 out for the Padres. 4-1 Cardinals, game 2. Tom Brenneman would say, feels like a big moment. You think?
What's he doing these days?
Not doing baseball.
It is completely over, right?
It's over. You can't do that now.
Does somebody else let him do something?
Maybe down the road somewhere, but it's the crazy part of playoff baseball when you get to this place and everyone's hyper managing games. Moments in fourth innings turn big.
Well, especially right now. Well, I mean, they're facing an elimination anyway, but we're 2 out of 3. I mean,
if this were the middle of the season, the pitcher's still in there trying to work his way out of it because you got to preserve your bullpen over the course of 162. This has been a crazy season.
Chris Jones had some people that helped him with that decision. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Chris was not alone.
He got some guidance in the middle of the night.
The Tooth Fairy appeared.
Yeah. Yeah. Benjamin Franklin showed up.
Yeah. Inflation.
Yeah.
What'd you get as a kid, Tooth Fairy wise? Remember?
Jeffrey.
What?
He sent me a text.
Oh.
$1. But I mean, I was a kid losing teeth in the 70s, early 80s. I got $1, maybe a quarter.
Get some bubble gum the next morning at the convenience store.
I didn't get much.
Yeah, grind says guidance, deposit, same thing. Whatever. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, just a little help.
Yeah, that was one that was kind of fun at the time, but never want to do it again.
Have you seen this kid, this rookie for the Padres, Cronenworth?
Where's he from?
I don't know. He's had a hell of a year. Put up massive numbers for a rookie.
I'm thinking about baseball overrated, underrated, and I'll come up with something. I don't know. Those rosters.
Yeah, you would know that better than me.
Those numbers. Somebody said they wanted baseball names. That, and criminally underrated Philip Irwin.
Oh yeah, he was really good.
Had they gotten to Omaha, it would have been basically because of the way he was able to steady that thing around Drew in 09.
Because they lost Biddle.
Yeah. 15 years later, just looking at stats and stuff, the Henry brothers, really good over 3 years. And I'm not sure they get brought up as much because neither one of them had any pro career really to speak of. That changes things over time. In baseball especially, I think even more than football, your level of success at the pro level makes you more hyped or more disappointed in history from as far as talking about your college career. I do think for whatever reason that plays into it a little bit. I mean, look, there's been lots of overrated guys that didn't pan out. I mean, that's welcome to the sport. Somebody said Sam Darnold just got hurt.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Ooh. No, Thomas Dillard wasn't he wasn't overrated. He had a good career. I think that group as a whole.
Jeffrey says Cody Pruitt was overrated.
Okay.
Vaughn Hutchins was underrated.
Vaughn Hutchins. Okay.
And then he says that he's something about Tom Brenneman that I don't know I can repeat.
Yeah, let's not. I'm not going to blame Ole Miss for Garrett Crochet. I understand the thing. I get it's not a good look that he's playing, as Dylan said a little while ago. He said he had, he's throwing high leverage playoff innings in his first season. I get that.
He's with the White Sox?
Yeah.
He got hurt today.
Oh, did he?
He came out very early.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. He was a guy who, during peak recruiting time in high school, he's from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. He was like 84, 86, 85, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Blew up, hit a growth spurt, all of a sudden started throwing into the 90s. Ole Miss and State don't have any money left because that's the way baseball works. Welcome to the lack of lottery scholarships.
Yeah.
You always ask, hey, Garrett Crochet.
There you go.
There is one, Garrett Crochet. Yeah. Because they can offer walk-on spots. Tennessee had a little cash left, and Tennessee said, hey, come play for me, and Garrett Crochet ended up the Friday night starter for the Volunteers.
I could be wrong, but I think he got hurt today early in the White Sox game.
Well, you know, he had I believe he was the guy that broke his jaw in college, had a comebacker hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that's right.
White Sox lost him and Eloy Jimenez early today. White Sox have a very bright future.
Yeah. If Ole Miss has money left, then you would have had a rotation that would have thrown Garrett Crochet in with Rollison and all those guys.
It's Omaha.
In 18.
Yeah.
You'd have had that extra arm that would have been kind of necessary against, who was it? I'm not even making fun. Tennessee Tech. Sorry, I forgot the team for a minute. My apologies. Or even, I mean, a year later, you think that wouldn't have helped in Game 3 in Fayetteville in 19?
Sure.
Suddenly, it's not.
Sure.
Well, he'd been throwing on Friday night.
Would have pushed everything back. Would have made you deeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the series would have been in Oxford instead of Fayetteville.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
Because that was a depth thing. That in all seriousness, that series is the best example of the difference between the two programs. Arkansas had more fuel left on the last day.
Had more arms.
They did.
Yeah.
The series was in Fayetteville and not Oxford. Arkansas had a better resume.
I trigger people just by saying the words Tennessee Tech, like just the words, and it's.
That was a weird day.
Ole Miss goes to Omaha if it doesn't rain out on Friday night. The monsoon in town changed the regional.
It did.
It really did, for whatever reason. You're gonna be able to be in Swayze in the spring. There's gonna be fans for baseball in the spring. There are.
I mean, I hope so.
Do you disagree?
I mean, today the Oxford Board of Aldermen talked about the flu.
Well, flu season will be gone by March.
They talked about the flu today.
Yeah, Ronald McClendon's overrated. I'll go.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll go Brady Feigl underrated. That's fair. Yeah. I think full stadium capacity in the spring. I do.
Oh, I don't.
You don't?
Not based on what I've seen so far.
Really?
No.
You don't think in March we have full stadiums?
I mean, let me make this perfectly clear. If it were up to me, the football stadiums would be perfectly full. But no. Based on what I've seen today. Look, today the Oxford
They are not opening fall ball to fans. Somebody asked that.
Today the Oxford Board of Aldermen kept a playground closed because it's made of wood. It's made of wood. So how can we play basketball? The court's going to be made of wood.
Out of all the rules in town, and there are several that I have issues with, Avent Park still being closed is by far the one that drives me the most insane. For whatever reason, that's the one that just I cannot understand.
I'm going to run for the Board of Aldermen.
You want some bad news?
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Why?
You're not technically in the city. You're in the school district. You're not in the city.
So can I run for the school board?
You can run for the school board.
Okay, I'm going to run for something.
You can run for the school board.
I want to run for
something. I looked it up today because I was curious. Neal told me this on text a little while ago.
So I can't run for mayor?
I pulled up the map, and I wanted to know who you would be running against because I was like, well, I mean, some of these you might accidentally.
I don't want to win. I just want to run.
Well, that's why I was curious. I wanted to see which of the 7 you would be running against. And
like if I won, I would resign the moment after I took the oath.
It stops right over there.
I would take the oath and then resign.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Could I move into my parents' house and run?
As long as you're allowed to switch addresses, yeah, I think that would be.
I mean, I could say that I'm like the virus. I'm magic. I can just pick up and move. All right, no rampage. I promise. I'm not going to rampage tonight.
For what?
It's just people don't want me to rampage. I don't want to rampage. I'm in a good mood.
So this might be better for Monday, Tuesday, but I'll at least tease it here. I saw
Okay.
this a while ago, and I kind of forgot to talk about it on the podcast because I put it in my reading list on my phone. But talking about Gen Zers, Generation Zers, and those came. Trying to find the birth date of those people. Let's see. Gen Z is currently between the ages of 13 and 23. So just starting kind of around Carson's age, and then moving from there. They did some poll stuff. I'm reading from morningconsult.com, if that matters. It says only 53% of Generation Z identify as sports fans, compared to 63% of all adults and 69% of millennials. Millennials actually, from a sports fan standpoint, higher than the average adult. Generation Zers are half as likely as millennials to watch live sports regularly, and twice as likely to never watch. Esports, this is what's crazy, and we've talked about esports a little bit. Esports are more popular amongst Generation Z than baseball, NASCAR, and the NHL, with 35% identifying as fans. NBA players, by far the two that Generation Z people could identify as far as individuals. Kobe and LeBron James, actually, the two. So one passed away, and then LeBron at this point. But I don't know. I found this kind of fascinating to the point of, and you could dive into it. I'll link it somewhere if somebody really cares. They're 13 to 23. How big of a problem is this, and how big of a problem for certain sports is this, in your opinion?
That they're losing that group?
That not even the individual sports. That group is not necessarily even identifying as sports fans relative to the other generations at the same age group.
It's a big problem.
They're not even getting into sports in general. Because I think it's much easier to go, hey, if you're baseball, well, at least there's a bunch of sports fans out there. I just got to get them to watch me.
Yeah.
That's totally different than they're not watching any sports.
I mean, it's hard for me to completely. I mean, there's 3 of those people in my house. Now, 2 are female, which is, I'm not a misogynist, or I don't try to be.
Watch sports at least weekly. All adults, 42%. Millennials, 50%. Generation Z, 24%.
Campbell and Caroline could not tell you anything about sports. Literally, I've told you this story before. One of the reasons that the Cubs winning the World Series was as meaningful to me as it was that night, my 2 daughters, who are not sports fans, stayed up and watched that game, moved to different places in the house to watch that game. When that game ended, Chase, I was in this room, Laura and Carson were in the living room, and Campbell and Caroline had gone upstairs to watch the game together. The screaming that night was from all different parts of this house. The reason that game means so much to me is that my girls really didn't care. They were only happy for me.
They knew how emotional that night was for you.
They were happy for me.
Yeah.
And so, but no, they don't watch sports. I mean, today we were about to hit the play button on the record button on the Butcher versus the Spin Instructor, and I said something about Felipe Franks. Campbell said, "This Trask guy, is he good?" I said, "Yeah, he's really good." And she goes, "Well, how long's he been there?" And I said, "Well, he replaced Felipe Franks," thinking she would know what that meant. Silly me.
Oh, that didn't.
She goes, "Who's that?" And I said, "He's Arkansas's quarterback." Oh. They don't watch. It's different. It's different. I mean, Carson's turns 14 on Sunday. He stayed up and watched the NBA Finals last night. He doesn't.
Doesn't this mean something more? This is not even bad. This don't nobody take this as really a negative overall. It's a society thing though, because sports fandom is passed down like anything else.
Sure.
It means there's separations in that becoming something that families are doing.
Oh, it's one of the reasons that this COVID year is
causing this.
This COVID year has to scare the hell out of college administrators. If you stop going, do you ever resume going?
What's the question? We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, Evan says it's a good point. Playing sports was for socializing. Now there are a lot of other ways to create friends.
Oh. Fair.
Yeah, it's different. I don't know. Look, if you're in sports, you have to evolve. You have to figure it out. You have to constantly be searching for new ways to get people to come to your games, for your games to be fun.
I did. I had a parent with a child today tell me that the kid is upset that Tony was not around last week.
Really?
My response was, "So you're the one."
You're the one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You want me to open the phone lines?
Sure. Why not? I mean, I don't have anything else crazy. I mean, we got lines, but they're on the side. We don't have to go through them. It's all right. We can do it as we
can
go.
talk about them as we go.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm looking forward. It's here somewhere. There it is. All right, phone lines are open, 662-259-0991. We'll take your calls for a while tonight here on this Thursday night. It's 8:05 Central Daylight Time, October the 1st. We're 3/4 through the this year that will never be mentioned again.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not talking about it when it's over.
You're good.
I've told my kids, I'm like, you guys are going to be talking about this year forever.
Well, there's nothing to compare it to. Like, there's no year.
There's
no year that we had that you go,
oh,
that's whatever. At all.
No, it's incredible.
Oh, by the way, if you have made orders into our shop, you can find the shop at mpw-digital.myshopify.com. The link's been up on the thing. It's all over the place on all of our social media. Pre-sale ends tomorrow morning, so everything will be purchased and shipped out in the morning, so you'll get your gear soon. If you want to make sure you're on this first wave, you have until tomorrow morning to take advantage of that, so just heads up.
What's up, Bubba?
How y'all doing tonight?
Just
waiting on you.
We're waiting for the show to start.
Hey, Daddy, you on? Yeah. How you fellas doing?
What's up, Daddy?
Oh, not much.
What'd y'all have for dinner? What'd y'all have for supper tonight, I should say?
Well, I didn't get in till about 8, boys. I'm just kind of sitting here about, I'm just tired, I got in about 6 minutes ago. So, walked in the door and saw y'all were getting ready and called up Daddy, and then he actually told me y'all were on watching you up in White Pine.
Oh, he's in White Pine. Okay. Where is White Pine?
Yep. He's in Tennessee.
Oh,
right
okay.
Across from North Carolina. So way up in the mountains.
How's the week been? Any work stores?
No, not really. Just been really busy, honestly.
With what though? What's been going on? Oh, well, hold on.
18-wheeler was going. The guy wasn't paying attention. Gosh, he got close, man, but was hooking someone up. But it happens, So, but just driving too fast on 78. You know how it goes.
Does that happen a lot? You kind of off on the side of the road and somebody comes through and about clips you?
Sometimes, yeah, it'll kind of suck you up at times, So, but it is what it is. So, but anyway, we got the games if y'all want to hear them. So I know Daddy, I'll call him and then call y'all. So
yeah, yeah, give us your quick thoughts on the games. Sure.
Okay, Florida and South Carolina. I told y'all that Trask boy needed to get the Rona, So if he don't get the Rona this year, I think he's going to win it all. He's one of the best I've seen in a while. So what do you think, Daddy?
Well, I think the Cocks are done after we took care of them last week, and Florida's going to be eating some of that good old South Carolina chicken.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. What do you got? Tennessee, Missouri?
I think it's going to be a big day for Jimmy G. I think they cover it too, boys. So, Missouri is bad. Daddy?
Well, I hate to say this, but we're just back, and I know you guys don't like the ball, but we're back.
You're back.
And,
based on
the way it is.
Back to finishing third in the East?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Oh no. I don't know, Daddy. I'm not sure that you're all the way back yet.
Hey, Daddy, nothing sucks like a big orange. Y'all ain't back. I know.
Hush, Claude.
All right, you got yeah, that's right, Claude. Let's get the next pick. Texas A&M and Alabama.
Sadly, I think Alabama will roll with the devil, and the kinfolks intelligent will be happy. Sorry about that, Daddy. I know you hate them, but it'll be all right.
Well, Vandy's going to cover all of the bets on this one, and I just wish old Nick would win it all and just retire.
Daddy,
retire. Daddy, it wouldn't be the derby out west anymore.
Hey, Daddy, I'm confused.
Daddy.
You've got Vanderbilt playing Alabama here. We're talking about Alabama and Texas A&M.
Oh heck,
Daddy, you're crazy as Biden. What's wrong?
I'm gonna have to give up that third beer.
I know.
Okay. They're gonna steal.
It's gonna be
they're gonna. Alabama's gonna win. I don't care.
Hey, Daddy, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
78.
78. So you're right there with Biden and Trump. What do you think when you watch Biden and Trump on the debate? Do you think either one of them can handle this for 4 years?
I thought we was gonna have a good knockdown, drag out, and I wanted to see who knocked who down and who drug who out.
Oh Lord, don't get him started. He's a conspiracy theory guy.
Okay.
So.
All right. What about we got Ole Miss +7 at Kentucky? What do you think?
You know what? I think Ole Miss covers this time. I'm gonna get Mary some wine, and then I'll see if she'll holler at y'all on Saturday.
That'd be lovely.
Oh, we would love to talk to Mary. That would be great. Mary and Ed and Spencer. It'd be a great night.
All right, Daddy.
Well, I think the Rebels are going to win, and Murray's going to have a great night.
Oh God. You know what?
Who's Murray?
3-8 Mary.
Oh, Mary, not Murray. Mary's going to have a great night. Okay. Oh, that's.
Sorry, we didn't speak enough white pine there.
Is there a certain celebration that you all have there, Claude? You and Mary when the Rebels win?
Man, those celebrations have been gone a long time, Neal. Unless it's beating Alabama. But anyway.
What happens when you beat Alabama, Claude?
Might get a little loving.
Okay.
Please don't call me Claude. I can't stand that, Neal. But anyway, I'm gonna kill my daddy for it. But let's see, Auburn and UGA. I think I'm not sold on UGA, boys. I think that Gus is gonna slip in and he's gonna win this one for some reason. I just don't know why. I don't think UGA is that good.
All right.
I don't know.
And you
Daddy?
got LSU and Vanderbilt?
Nope.
I'm beginning to think that Georgia just ain't half the team they say they are. And I believe old Gus is going to slip in the back door and steal some good loving from the Bulldogs.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
All right. State and Arkansas, I think the Pirates going to cover. I really think he's going to get 800 yards against Arkansas. I don't know why. I just think. And he's going to do something crazy like talk about aliens at the end of the game. Did he?
Well, I think I agree with you on that one. I believe they're just going to be taking them behind the barn and give them a good whooping.
Yep. Vandy and LSU, and we won't take y'all's time. I think LSU is it's going to be closer than we think. I think old Coach O's got some kind of curse on him, maybe by his ex-wife. Did he?
Chase, you're going to kill me in a minute when I tell you something.
Pull his old mask off so the players can understand him.
Okay.
And he really show them what coaching is about. Poor old man.
I have a hunch.
I forgot to hit the record button on Audition. We'll have to take it off.
I can pull it from YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
That's really all we got. Daddy's hitting the beer. He's an hour ahead of y'all, so that's what's going on. So.
All right. Well,
anyway.
hey, guys, we appreciate the call. We'll talk to you hopefully on Saturday. We'll talk to Mary.
All right. I'll talk to you boys later.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You just now realized it?
It just hit me.
Okay.
I had it set up, and it's like, well, it's not the end of the world, but I was like, it's not a good thing. Okay.
It's not the end of the world.
No, it's okay. Be all right.
I wasn't cringing. I'm
no,
listening.
you handled it. You handled it well.
No problems.
I felt my stomach drop, and I was like, oh.
Well, I mean, look, we've been really lucky here, and it was one that I mean, I'm not going to say top 5 because that's probably not fair. But an interview that I really, really enjoyed, the only one we've ever lost. We've only lost one interview the entire time we've been doing this show.
Oh, and it was really good.
And it was Jackie Service, who went to Ole Miss. Her dad, Scott Service, is the manager of the Mariners. And
he's still with them, isn't he?
Yeah, and I have no idea what happened. I saw the red button. I've hit the red button 2,500 times, but the file did not exist later. So kind of sucked. It was fun. She talked a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it was a long interview too.
Yeah. She was a GA here. She actually works for the PGA Tour now.
Yeah, I knew that.
And communications and media or whatever.
Good for her.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's the only one we've ever lost. 4-2 now, Cardinals over the Padres.
Yep.
Game 2, best of 3. St. Louis won game 1. So
that's a cool ballpark right there in San Diego.
Yeah, Malzahn might get a win. He can go to Waffle House afterwards.
Yeah. What's
your Waffle House order?
We've talked about this before. I've never been. I've never been to Waffle House.
I don't understand how. I mean, it's one thing to go, hey, I don't really like it or whatever, but just I've never been.
No, I've just never been.
Well,
I'm not a big breakfast person.
But you haven't been like relatively anorexic your whole life. I would have thought during a sports writer over 25 years, at some point that ends up, hey, what about Waffle House? Fine, whatever. I'll eat a waffle and a piece of bacon and have some coffee and move on with my day.
Yeah, I'm even when I was fatter than I am today, I skipped breakfast.
Probably one of the reasons why you're fat.
Possibly.
Killed your metabolism.
Yeah, it's possible. What's up, caller? Who do we have?
This is Tommy from Oxford. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Tommy, what's happening?
Oh, man, just driving.
Where are you at today?
I am in Tennessee, actually.
You around White Pine?
White Pine, where Bubba's daddy's from. I'm almost down there.
Are you masked up right now? Because Oxford declared that we need to really masked up. So have you doubled up, tripled up on your mask, or?
I'll follow the law just because it's the law, and I don't really break the law. So,
right.
But I won't comment on the importance of it. Neal, I want to appreciate you giving a shout out to my Braves, man. I really appreciate it. That's a big deal for us actually winning a series in the postseason.
Well, that was a big series to win. Those two teams are like I told somebody, the Reds are really good. I watched them. I watch all the Central teams all year. Those are the teams that I know the best, and the Reds are a really good team. And to shut that lineup down for 2 days it's a hell of an accomplishment. The Anderson kid for the Braves today was phenomenal.
That was awesome. It was awesome. The way they won yesterday with Freeman walking it off was awesome too.
Well, that was
a battle yesterday.
That was a great baseball game. Both Fried for Atlanta and Bauer for Cincinnati were just terrific. You don't get a lot of those kind of pitching matchups, and when you get them and they live up to the billing, it's a lot of fun. Trevor Bauer just absolutely stifled the Braves for 8 innings, and Max Fried matched him. It was great baseball.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys tonight. A lot of people call me crazy because those are the baseball games that I like to watch.
Sure.
A lot of people like the ones where there's a lot of home runs. Which ones do y'all like more?
I like both.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm more of the low scoring one because everything matters more. If I know that it's going to be 14-12, any one run is not as big of a deal. Any early lead isn't big of a deal. Whereas the nuance to the moves and the anxiety around every pitch in a 1-0 and a 2-1 game, that's much more important to me. Now, it's hard. Here's the catch. It's kind of got to matter or be postseason, though, for that to be as relevant versus a
1-0 game on June the 2nd
is whatever. It's great in the stands because you're seeing and watching and kind of feeling it a little different, but it's a little different on TV.
One of the ones that sticks out to me was a Cardinals-Phillies game. It was the late Roy Halladay and Chris Carpenter, if I remember correctly, and they were both just dealing, and that's incredible to watch. There was one. There was a Cubs-Braves. You might remember this. There was a Cubs-Braves NLDS game in 2003 It was Greg Maddux with the Braves, Mark Pryor with the Cubs, and it was fantastic.
Right. I think I do remember that. I'm a lifelong Braves fan, so I've always watched them.
Yeah. That series, if you remember that series was full of great pitching. Kerry Wood was terrific in Game 1 for the Cubs. John Smoltz was terrific in Game 2. Maybe it was Glavine in Game 2, and then John Smoltz in Game 3. I can't remember exactly. No, Pryor in Game 3, John Smoltz in Game 4, and then Kerry Wood was magnificent in that Game 5 that won the series for the Cubs at Turner Field. Yeah, there's nothing like postseason great pitching. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, man, I appreciate you giving them a shout out. That's y'all listen to any Rep Talk tonight?
I have not heard it. What did we miss?
What did we miss?
I didn't miss a lot. They had Elijah on. He's a real humble guy. I mean, I liked hearing him talk, and Lane didn't really say a whole lot. I mean, he didn't give anything away. He did say he was going to use John Rise more this week.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where.
My guess is it won't be at quarterback.
I think he's going to play out of the slot more. That's my guess.
Go ahead.
I think they're going to put John Rice in the slot some this weekend. That's my guess.
I think that's what they should do with him. I've thought it all along because he's too big of a playmaker to keep off field.
Yeah,
you don't want him holding a clipboard on the sideline.
As long as he's bought into it, I agree. But he's got to want to do it.
Right, and I think he will. I think he'll adapt.
How far are you going tonight?
All I got for you guys today. What do you say?
How far are you going tonight?
I'm probably going to get down here to Crossville, Tennessee. It's down on 40, headed toward Memphis. I'm on my way home.
Oh, you're headed back home. Okay.
Cool. I'll unload in the morning, and sometime in the morning, and I'll get home to the house.
Where were you on the other end?
I brought this load out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
What's the in and out and the traffic like around Philadelphia compared to some other places?
It's horrible.
Okay.
It's terrible. It's you're right there on 95, and when you come into Philadelphia, there's so much, so many roads, important roads that veer off to the sides that everything is a slowdown. 5 o'clock coming out of Philadelphia is horrible.
Do you just have to kind of go and know you're bigger than everybody else and they're going to move? I mean, what is kind of the strategy on some of that? Or are you trying to get in the appropriate place way ahead of time where you have very little lane movement?
I try to time it to get in and out there before the traffic gets there.
Okay.
But when I do get in the traffic, I just let them have it. I mean, I've been out here 21 years, and when I was younger, I used to just go and try to force my way in. I just let them have it, and I just say, hey, we're just going to ease through this. We'll get to the other side, and we'll be okay.
I got a trucker question. I just thought of it.
Neal is so excited.
So when a truck gets in the left lane and just kind of stops and sits right alongside a truck in the right lane, is that an intentional thing to sort of calm the traffic down?
No, they're governed. Are you talking about when you're in a traffic jam?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Well, see, there's usually one lane ending, and the lane that's moving real good is usually the one that's ending, and the lane that's open, the people are stopping to let the guys that are trying to merge in. So two trucks will get beside each other, and they won't let any cars rush up there and try to dart in, and the traffic actually flows faster like that. The cars behind you get mad, but they don't see that everything's starting to open up there when the trucks do that.
Gotcha. I've always kind of thought that was the deal. It always
get on the CB and we'll find a truck that we can talk to and say, hey, I'm going to pull up beside you. And it's kind of against the law, actually. They'll give you a ticket for it if they catch you doing it, but because you're stopping the flow of traffic. I mean, I don't know how you're stopping it. You're actually
so
with the flow of traffic.
You still do the CB now, even with cell phones and all that stuff?
Yeah, because I mean, you got to be able to know what you're coming up on. I mean, a lot of truckers don't use the CB anymore. I still do, but I mean, like I said, I've been doing it for 21 years, so.
What percentage do you think you're still using it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What's that?
What percentage do you think you're still using it?
25, probably.
Okay.
So you get home tomorrow. When do you go back out on the road?
I'll probably leave Monday or Tuesday.
Where you headed then?
Back up to Philly.
Oh, same route. Okay.
I do the same thing every week.
Oh, Philly and back all the time?
All the time. We've got a little local contract out of Philly that we try to, when we get up there, we try to run a couple local loads, and then we'll get a long load coming back at the end of the week.
Well, be safe tomorrow.
So, yeah.
Be safe. Enjoy your weekend.
All right. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you. I gotta tell you, I think it's really cool that we've become one of the. We've
gotten trucker calls at this point.
We've become like the podcast for truckers. I kind of like it.
I could talk all day. I mean, just tell me stories.
I'm fascinated by the whole trucker thing.
You might get you a ride along one of these days. Just
I could
in, head back.
I could.
You're not interested?
I mean, no, I am kind of interested. I just know that there's a lot to do. I'd have to like completely take a week off of work.
Yeah, hot spots and.
Yeah, it'd be really.
Pilot's got some Wi-Fi for you.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Eating might be a problem. Can't pack the Peloton in the back of the 18-wheeler.
Eating and the exercise and the whole deal. Yeah, I would get weird by the end.
Lord.
Padres threatening again in the 5th. You can't keep threatening and not score. That's the way that works. Who do we have?
This is a trucker following up another one.
How about that?
Mike from Carrollton.
Where are you at today?
I'm actually sitting here at my yard in Greenwood, waiting on my wife to come pick me up. She's late as usual.
Where are you headed?
Home.
Oh, waiting her to pick you up out of the truck. Okay, I got you. You just got in.
Yeah. Usually I do a Monday through Friday thing, but we had to leave out Sunday because we was hauling some electric motors. They needed pretty bad, so I get a 3-day weekend this weekend.
Where'd you head to with those? You have? I probably mentioned this before. Do you have the same route every time or not?
No, I don't. It's all different. We pull loads off of load boards. I mean, every now and then we'll get kind of the same stuff, but most of the time it's different every week.
Does it matter on your schedule and how long it takes, depending on what you're carrying? I mean, how much does the load kind of change, mile per hour, speed, whatever's going on?
Well, I mean, you always want to get there as quick as possible, especially I pull a dry van now. I used to pull refrigerated, but now I pull a dry van.
Mm-hmm. And
most of the time, these customers usually take you whenever you get there as long as it's during business hours.
So how often's your wife late? I mean, you had to give her a pretty good heads up on when you'd be coming through, right? How long you been sitting there?
Yeah, maybe she just said this is it.
Well, I told her I'd be here at 8:30, but Jackson didn't treat me as bad as I thought it would.
So she's not late yet.
You were early,
right? Well, she just called me at 8:20 and said, "How close are you?" And I said, "I'm here."
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So she's not late yet.
Not yet. 3 more minutes, she'll be late.
How far is the house from the yard?
About 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So she left. She would have had to have left before she knew you were crazy early.
Yeah. I hope she's not listening because she has reason to be a little ticked off right now.
No, I'm trying to get her to start listening to the podcast, but.
Has she looked at us? I mean, because if she just looked at us one time, she'd be in.
Yeah, she definitely the modeling deal. She would have fell out on that one.
She would have liked that, huh?
Yeah, but she was not.
That was hot. I was told it was hot. I was told it was hot. I just got to tell you, I had a lot of people tell me that was almost more than they could handle.
Well, I ain't going to give you that kind of compliment. But I will tell y'all, I was pretty surprised of what the Rebels were able to do Saturday.
In what way?
Just to move the ball and not lay down. When I was really surprised how they played the second half. still moving the ball. I mean, a lot of people don't realize it, but really through most of that game, we were 2 or 3 plays away from really turning some heads there.
Let me ask you a question. Your wife's not there yet, right? We're good?
No.
All right.
No.
Tell me about lot lizards.
Well, you don't see them as much as people might think. And most of the time they aren't out in the lot. Now, there's a pilot in Indianapolis, and I don't hardly ever park there, but lo and behold, I didn't have a choice one night. And this woman in a leopard dress, about every 30 minutes, you would see her come across the parking lot, go over to the little hotel, and about 20 minutes after that, you would see her come back through the parking lot.
Ooh.
And I was like, and I kept looking, and I was thinking, I was like, you would think she would change clothes. Good God.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd hope she changed more than that.
But it's really and truly, you get harassed more by the people wanting money and stuff than you do somebody wanting to.
You mean people at the
to make some money?
So people there asking for money?
Yeah. The beggars out in the parking lot.
They hang around where you'd park for the night by the truck stops and stuff?
Oh, yeah. And the Petro in Atlanta, man, they'll hit you before you even get parked.
Oh, really?
I'm a little – I mean, I guess it's hard to completely keep it out of there, but I'm a little surprised that's allowed to that level.
Well, I tell you, it's not as bad out in the rural areas, but you get around in them cities and you can't even sleep at night. Every 20, 30 minutes, somebody's beating on your door wanting this. The car broke down 2 miles up the road. And
so
I always tell them, I look like a mechanic. I'm a truck driver. I mean, I can't help you.
So when you retire for the night, do you feel safe?
Usually I park in areas that I know aren't bad, but every now and then I have to park somewhere where I'm a little shaky. I'll make one trip into the truck stop and get what I need and get back to my truck, and that's it for the night.
I would assume you're armed when you head to the truck stop?
Well, legally I can't say yes, but I do have things in the truck that if need be. I don't have a firearm, but I've got things in the truck.
That's illegal, though, to have a firearm in the truck?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. It don't matter concealed carry because you're crossing state lines. So you can do it, but you really have to pay attention to the laws and what state you can do it in.
Your job's more complicated than I thought it was. I'll give you credit. There's a lot to it.
I'll tell you, that's why I mentioned a while back we ought to do a whole show and talk and go into more depth about it because there's a lot more to it than the common person thinks. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, okay, it's 8.
She's officially late now.
She's late now. It's 8:32. Everything I said about her, I take back. She's late. I mean, simple as that.
Well, I made her a deal. As long as she saved me some taco soup, I wouldn't cuss her too bad about it.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, hey, enjoy the soup. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for the call.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Mike.
Lots of trucking calls.
We still got one more regular hadn't called in yet. We only got 2 of the 3 so far.
I know.
So I don't know if we'll hear from him or Ed first tonight.
20 minutes. Impressive.
Neal's over here nodding.
Wow. How about that?
Jesus.
Oh, someone save me. Thank God. Here's a call. All right. What's up, caller? Who's this?
Hey, guys. This is Adam from Pontotoc.
Hey, Adam. I'm required by law to tell you, by the way, it just popped up that you are being recorded.
Hang on,
That's
what?
fine. I've been recorded in the worst situation.
Yeah. What's up?
Not much. Just left Tallahassee a little while ago. I enjoy listening to Tommy and Mike, but I had a food take for you.
Okay.
And I had a question.
Okay.
I'll do the question first. But if people are on the message board, then they'll know that I'm the big Pete Golden fan.
Okay.
So if Pete Golden had come over, as was, there was a point in time where, he was kind of considered there. Do you think that the recruiting would be better this year for defensive prospects?
Yes, I do.
Now I know. Now in a couple of years, when Durkin can have, I'm fine with Durkin. I like him. He's probably a better option than Pete. But just for this year, do you think it would have been better because he had the relationship from Alabama?
Let me make sure. You're asking if Pete Golding had joined Matt Luke's staff instead of Mike McIntyre, would the defensive talent be better?
No. I'm saying if Pete would have joined Lane's staff.
Oh. I don't know. They haven't had enough time to do anything yet. It's a good question.
That's what I'm saying. Since he already had the relationships from Alabama, instead of Durkin just jumping back into the game from the NFL.
There's probably a couple guys they would have better shots at, but I'll tell you, if it would, Partridge is the one that I feel like if you really could let him just go, that a lot would happen. So I think given this thing, you might have one or two guys that Golden could have gotten to commit or lead or however you want to paraphrase that during the pandemic. But anything more longer term than that, the way Lane is trying to put the program together, I really think Partridge is actually the guy that kind of holds this thing together from a recruiting standpoint.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, that's understandable. I was just saying for this year,
yeah, sure.
It is the pandemic and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think one or two guys would have been very, very possible.
Oh yeah, but now see, this is going to be a little weird. I want to get y'all's opinion on this. See, ever since I was a little child, I've put Thousand Island on my spaghetti.
Wait, hold up, stop, slow down. You got to do that a lot slower than you just did it. You put
Mine's no longer the grossest food take that we have on the
Thousand Island on spaghetti pasta noodles.
No, with the spaghetti, the meat and
with the sauce and everything.
With like a bolognese sauce, you add
Thousand Island.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I tried it when I was little, and I've been eating it for 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
Has anyone kind of judged you on that a little bit?
My stomach is judging him right now. Say it again.
I've gotten a couple people to try it, and they do it too.
Really?
Yeah. It's not. I mean, I'm not sure what Thousand Island is. I don't think I've ever really researched it.
It's ketchup and mayonnaise and pickles.
Okay, well, I mean, it's just adding a little bit more tomato and some mayonnaise, which I like mayonnaise. So, I mean, I guess I know y'all hate mayonnaise.
That's affirmative.
Yeah, affirmative, yeah, for sure.
But
pickles on spaghetti is a no.
You ever tried it?
No, but it just sounds like a no. Would you want to try it? Because I can go fix some real quick.
You can make some spaghetti real quick?
We can figure it out. I've got some spaghetti sauce in there.
I promise you, it's not as bad as you think it is. I like it.
How much? Hold on. How much are we talking about? Are we talking about like where you're doing like some? I get you're not dipping it in it, but that are we like literally mixing it in pretty substantial with the sauce or what? What are we doing?
I mean, you make your bowl. I mean, it's bowl, plate of spaghetti, whatever.
Sure.
And I mean, a spoonful, maybe a spoon and a half, and I mean, it makes it. I mean, you can tell it's there.
Okay.
It's not like I'm bad.
So it adds a little tanginess to it.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm not dumping a whole bottle of Thousand Island.
Yeah, I get that.
A plate of spaghetti.
To me,
I mean, yeah, it's definitely good. I enjoy it.
To me, that's almost trying to doctor, though, a really bad meat tomato sauce. Because if the tomato sauce is correct, it's got a little bit of that tangy flavor to it. You know what I mean? Like you should get garlic. You should get a little bit of that tang and like the richness from the tomatoes. It's almost like a stopgap off something that's not probably how it should be to start with.
Oh, that's more out of habit.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I eat ketchup on Meat Lover's Pizza for Pizza Hut. So
I'll go this far. I used to eat pizza with, I mean, it was thin crust pepperoni pizza from Pizza Hut, but I dipped it in ketchup, so I can't hate you for that.
I get it.
But, yeah, I got a lot of miles to go tonight, so I'll just hang up and I'll listen to the rest of y'all.
How far are you going?
I'm coming home. I just left Tallahassee a couple hours ago. I'm heading to the house.
All the way tonight?
Yeah, all the way. It's only 530 miles.
Oh my God!
Well, that's not an only. 500 is not an only.
I can do that, and I mean that's only 9 hours.
So you've got 9 hours left tonight?
No, I've got right now. I'm about in Montgomery right now.
Okay. Okay.
I thought you were still in Tallahassee.
I did too.
Apologize.
No, I left Tallahassee a couple hours ago. I got about. Well, actually, I'm going to Memphis first. I've got to go to Memphis and get rid of this trailer, and then I'm driving to the house, which is another 80 miles. But I got about 420 miles left tonight.
How you gonna stay awake? Is that a coffee for the next 4 hours or what?
Yeah, coffee. I mean, like I said, I won't stop till I get to Memphis. When I get to Memphis, I'll stop and get some more coffee, and I'll be on to the house. I mean, if I know I'm going home, but it don't bother me.
That's fair.
So that's all good. But I appreciate it, and I will hang up and listen to the rest of it.
Thank you for the call. Really appreciate it.
All right, appreciate that.
We've become the Trucker Show. Oh, you never know where you're going in life, and I'm proud of this. Hey, Webb gave us a super chat. Webb, thank you so much. Let's see what Webb asked. If I can find it, I got to scroll back up to it.
You can also scroll down.
Yeah, I can. He wants to know.
Great shows this week. Do you
you
think State wins a lot this year? Sadly, I do, and wonder how long it will take. I can't read the side of it. The SEC to figure out the pirate, I believe is what it says. Have you heard anything about JRP moving around on the field? Yeah, I have a hunch with JRP that it's the slot. I don't know about. Sorry, he's going to get snaps that I think somewhere other than the quarterback position. Let's put it that way. I don't know what they're actually going to call the thing.
Okay.
He played 11 the other night. He played 6 at quarterback. He played 3 in the slot. He played 1 out wide, and he played 1 at halfback on Saturday. So.
Who do we have, caller?
It's Grind.
What's up, Grind?
No much, man. Just enjoying the show, man. You guys had you guys did a good job on Saturday, man. I was peeping in, peeping out of the show. I had a lot going on Saturday.
Yeah,
it seemed like you guys, I rewatched it on YouTube. You guys had a good show.
Thank you, appreciate that. We
Pretty
tried.
Pleased with it overall.
We tried.
Did you call in to heckle Neal about his Miami Heat pick to win the NBA title?
Man, I'm gonna just let Neal just sit over there. He explained the other day that he was doing out of courtesy for other people. So I get it.
Thank you,
doing out the kindness of his heart and stuff. So,
yeah, sometimes you do things for your kids, right?
Well, I don't have kids, so yeah.
Well, then you'll find out one day. Yeah, he likes the Heat.
I will say this though, man. With all this Jimmy Butler love you showing, man. Like after these 3 games, LeBron can go ahead and send Jimmy Butler to your door, and you can tell him, "Hey, man, I'm gonna need you to do the same thing LeBron did to you. You can just sweep up around here because that was pitiful. Because you know what I mean.
Well,
LeBron finna go ahead 25, 13, and 9 last night. Last night.
Yeah, and AD was great.
Is Butler hurt or is he okay?
Butler was a little banged up.
No, Butler ain't hurt. No,
they lost Bam Adebayo and they lost Goran Dragic yesterday. So it was kind of a nightmare for the Heat.
Yeah, it was, man. Just the Heat not talented enough, just overall. But yeah, man. And what I told y'all last week when I called in, man, Seth Williams was gonna prove that he one of the best receivers in the league, and that boy went out and showed himself, man.
I've been calling him Sammy Williams all day. I don't know why. Sorry.
I know, man. I ain't say nothing in the chat. I was like, I just correct you, when I called. So
All right.
He's that touchdown catch he had was amazing.
Hey, man, that boy beast. He beasting out there. And I had said it's crazy because my final score was 30-13. It was 29-13. I thought we was going to win by 17, make it 3 possessions, but it was.
So you obviously watched. I mean, we're focused on Ole Miss and Florida. I was talking about how well Auburn tackled today. I was talking about how they made Wilson throw the ball. What did you see? Why? What did Auburn do to stop Kentucky? Help us out a little bit.
Okay. Now, I will say, man, the first half, I don't know if it's, if I've been spoiled by Derek Brown or whatnot, but there was a couple of plays that I sent, through the group chat where if you guys look on that Kavase Smoke touchdown, and Kentucky does have a real, real good center. I mean, hell of a center. And I believe they got some good guards, too, because they absolutely caked that 3 technique on that 38-yard touchdown run by Smoke. And so I will say Kentucky's interior offensive line is the strength of their team, and that's where I think Ole Miss is going to get tested a lot. As long as they can, like, Kentucky is a real 3 yards cloud of dust team, and where Kevin Steele was messing up, at first he was blitzing Terry Wilson. It would be like 3rd and 7, and he'll blitz Terry Wilson, and Kentucky will run a little slip screen or whatever. But since you blitzing, you got easy blocking for the receivers, and they'll pick up first downs, which is why Kentucky was 8 of 10 on third downs in the first half. But obviously he changed up the game plan, and just basically just said, our athletes are better than your athletes, and that's just basically what happened in Kentucky. Ended up losing the game themselves with the fumbles and whatnot.
So, did you watch enough of Ole Miss Florida to sort of? And I hate the transitive property of predicting football games, because that's not how it works. You can't do the, hey, Auburn beat Missouri by 26 and Missouri beat Vanderbilt by 10, so Auburn will beat Vanderbilt by 36. It doesn't work like that. But did you watch enough of Ole Miss Florida to sort of say, hey, here's what I think about Ole Miss Kentucky?
Yes, I watched enough, and what I think is Ole Miss can have the same success through the air that we did against Kentucky, because everybody came in, lauding about Kentucky's secondary, which, I was skeptical, of the hype that they were getting. And when you look back, all the teams that they faced last year, the reason their secondary was ranked so high, they never faced a team that was top 60 in passing. And so that was the reason why their secondary was ranked so high, nationally and all that stuff. And once they faced some actually good receivers and a good quarterback, and in my opinion, Lane Kiffin is a better schemer of the passing game than, the Chad Morris and Gus Malzahn. I believe they're still trying to work things out. I believe Lane Kiffin will be able to draw up enough plays in the air to where Ole Miss will have success. The key to the game, in my opinion, because the thing, the reason why the game was so close was because if you look at it, Kentucky held us to what I call 55 true offensive plays. I mean, once we had a couple plays that iced the game, and then you had the play before halftime where we had the interception call back and we just took a knee. If you take those plays out, we really only ran about 54, 55 plays, and that was because Kentucky was just holding the ball. So the key is going to be getting them off the ball, getting them off the field. If Ole Miss can do that, then the offense should be able to put up enough points to where Kentucky will have to start stressing, just like they did in the Auburn game.
I agree completely. It comes down to Ole Miss being able to get off the field defensively on third down, which they could not do against Florida, and any chance of an upset disappeared in that category.
Well, yeah, but Florida, like Kyle Trask and Terry Wilson. The key to Ole Miss, if you get Kentucky in a 3rd and 5 or longer, you got to get off the field. You can't give Kentucky those 3rd and 5 or longer conversions. You can't do that.
There's no Kyle Pitts on the Kentucky roster. That dude, you talk about the Williams kid for Auburn. He is absolutely a stud. So is Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a monster.
Yeah, there's not even an Elijah Moore on the Kentucky roster.
Right.
So the other guy, I forgot his name. Chase had brought him up a little bit. He had found some little spots here.
Josh Ali.
But there's nobody that should scare the Ole Miss secondary like Florida could with Kyle Pitts and Travion Grimes and Kadarius Toney and all those guys.
Yeah, Tony's a stud too. Weapons. Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
because they didn't throw down the field but 3 or 4 times the whole day, right?
No. I want to say they threw the that guy that you said twice, whatever, and he completed one, and then he not dropped one, but Terry Wilson threw it, led him out of bounds, and so it was incomplete. But other than that, it was mostly slants and slip screens.
If he does play, what's Ole Miss going to get from Joey Gatewood on Saturday?
You're going to get a better, in my opinion, he's a better runner of the football than Terry Wilson. Terry Wilson is good at outrunning guys and trying to hit the corner and whatnot. But the reason why I was such a Gatewood fan is the way that he's able to take a read option up the middle and gain 4 or 5 yards and just keep a defense on the field. Now I doubt if he's going to be used in that type of role, because him and Terry Wilson are kind of the same guy. So I don't know. I mean, the only difference is Joey Gatewood is he's a little bigger, so he can take a little bit more punishment. Probably fall forward in some situations.
Yeah, big kid.
As far as big guy. He's 6'5", 230. Kid. But as far as him being a threat, through the air, more than Terry Wilson. No, I don't see that.
Interesting stuff. Hey, Grind, thanks so much, man. Appreciate you.
No problem, man. I see people calling in, being confident about this, Auburn Georgia game, man. I'm not too confident about it. But
what do you think?
We gonna see.
I hate to say it because I like Jay and you, and I covered Auburn for 6 years, and I've got a soft spot for the Tigers. But I kind of see Georgia winning this game and covering the line a little bit. I just think Georgia's it's kind of there's just a feeling I've got.
Yeah, I mean, like Gus has been here for 8 years, and he doesn't. If it's not Alabama, then he doesn't win games like this, and especially on the road. And so, I mean, that's just how I see it, man. I think it's probably going to be about a 24-13 game, something like that.
Yeah, that's about what I picked. I think I had 24-14, something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it was good to talk to you guys, man. Hope you guys have a good show and good luck, to Ole Miss this weekend.
Thanks, Grind. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Yeah, it's whoa.
Hello.
Who do we have?
My name's Joshua. I'm from Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Hey, Joshua, what's up? What's up in Fort Smith?
Oh, just, same old. The Razorback radio is pretty hilarious this week.
Yeah. What are they saying up there?
Are they optimistic this week? They feeling better about things?
Oh, it's so much better. So much better. We're turning this thing around. We might even get 3 wins this year.
3?
Where's 3?
Oh,
yeah.
Big, hey, big time pumped. Let me tell you.
They just got 0.3 wins. They should be happy with that.
Oh, believe me, when you're losing to San Jose State and Western Kentucky last year.
I was in Fayetteville last year when Arkansas lost to San Jose State. And that was interesting. The only thing it reminded me of, the people walking out of that stadium looked exactly like the Ole Miss fans did when they walked out of the stadium against Jacksonville State.
Just eyes glassed over.
Yeah, there was a look on their face that was indescribable. But I recognized it. I was like, oh, I know what that is. That is the look of a funeral. It is over.
Yeah, it was awful. Absolutely awful. But I wanted to call. I've listened to your guys' show for over a year and a half, and I just wanted to tell you guys thank you. A year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and I needed something to listen to while I was in chemo.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a huge SEC football fan. I found your guys' podcast since it was daily. It was something I could listen to every day while I was in there, something new. And I got hooked, and I became much more of a big Ole Miss fan than I ever was. I always kind of liked them, but now I find myself rooting for them because of you guys.
How'd you stumble on us?
I just was looking for daily podcasts for SEC.
Okay.
And I just kind of Googled that, and the Oxford Exxon podcast popped up.
How old's the little one?
She's almost 2.
Yeah, she sounds about almost 2. Good for her. So you doing good? Are you healed, in remission, whatever the term is?
Yeah, cancer free. They had to remove
That's awesome.
the nut, and then I had to go through chemo, but I'm all good now.
That's awesome.
And you've hung out with us even after that, so that's good. We've had a little staying power with you. So
I know. Yeah, you got stuck. I stuck.
I don't know if you heard my we did the butcher versus the bartender. I don't know if you've seen that on YouTube. My daughter, who's a sophomore at the University of Arkansas, we were talking today about Sam Pittman. He looks like he's eating every meal at Hugo's. Have you seen him?
He always looks so greasy.
He looks so big. It's like, what is it with Arkansas coaches and like getting people who push the envelope of elastic? I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, but Sam Pittman always looks like he's sweating grease.
He does. He looks so. He looks like grease is pouring down his face.
Yes.
And it might be.
Gravy. Is gravy coming out?
Yeah. Yeah. You wonder if it's like like gravy just pouring right out of his pores. You feel bad for him, but it's like, come on, man. I said bartender again. It's spin instructor, damn it. I'm making my daughter a bartender, and she's not. She's a spin instructor.
Well, I live in a dry county, so we don't have any bartenders here.
Oh, Fort Smith is dry?
Well, I live just north of Fort Smith on the other side of the river, and it's dry.
Given
It's dry from north of the Arkansas River all the way till you get to the tunnel. You know the tunnel.
Yeah, I know the tunnel.
How close has it been to removing that stipulation? Because I mean, I come from a town that only recently became wet itself. So how's that been locally around there?
We had a vote on it a couple years ago, and it didn't pass because the owner of the liquor store across the river lives in Van Buren and owns the biggest. They own the Ace Hardware here.
Oh, you're in Van Buren.
And, yeah, I'm in Van Buren.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is. It's beautiful country up there.
It is beautiful. But, the Ace Hardware guy who owns the liquor store spent thousands and thousands of dollars to make sure that didn't pass.
That's great.
We were getting stuff in the mail where they had pictures of liquor stores in between a school building and a church saying, is this what you want your town to turn into?
That's great.
And you lose the vote, and it's going to take a little while to get it back on the ballot. So you're kind of done for a few years. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The weed bill passed in our county, but not the liquor one.
Yeah, that's great. Well, hey, we're really glad you're good. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Right,
Thank
you. The weed passed, the alcohol didn't.
Yes, Amory recently went wet. We've had Corey call in and describe the scene as we've had the weeks of that.
All right, here we go. We got
what?
We just got lots of calls coming in. People want to talk to you, Chase Parham. Welcome into the show. Who's this?
This is Allie.
Hey, Allie, what's up?
Neal, you've got to get your daughter's podcast name right.
I know. I've screwed it up twice tonight.
YouTube series.
I know. YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing in my mind.
Oh, it's all good. So you got power back. Everything's good since the last time we talked to you?
Yes, y'all, we got power back Thursday night. Like Thursday, we packed up. We were legitimately headed out of town and saw the power trucks turning on our road. We were coming to Oxford a day early because we were so miserable. Saw the power trucks turning down our road and turned around and came back home.
Oh, I bet. There's no better feeling than the power coming back on.
9 nights, almost 10 whole days without it.
Oh, wow. And your marriage survived it. Congratulations.
Yes, but I could not leave town knowing that my house was as sticky and as gross as it was after 9 nights without power.
So you went back for just to kind of get everything turned on and whatnot, or like wait it out? When did you finally come to Oxford?
We came to Oxford Friday. Well, we left here around 8:30 Friday morning.
Okay.
And so got to Oxford Friday afternoon.
What'd you think of the whole weekend with people was it normal-ish? What'd you think? How would you rate it?
Well, that's what I was calling in to tell y'all. We didn't do much. We went to High Cotton, and I love some botanical gin, and so I bought some Bristow gin, and I really like it. But we didn't do much in town, but we had so much fun at the game Saturday, and that's what I was calling to tell y'all. I'm a pretty big homebody, and we haven't tailgated in a while. Like we would go to the Tad Pad and tailgate. We haven't gone to the Grove in a few years. But the game itself, we had so much fun. It was the most exciting game that we've been to in a while.
Because of just the excitement on the field, the points, what got you there?
Yeah, just the excitement on the field. I mean, obviously we weren't that great, but we were better than we've seen. We were more exciting than we've seen. We weren't boring like we have been.
Oh, there's no doubt. I've said that all week. It was people talk about, they keep breaking the game down, like on shows that I've been on and stuff, and it's like Ole Miss football was interesting for the first time in a while. It was fun for the first time in a while. It was entertaining for the first time in a while.
My husband said this is the most excited I've ever been after a loss. Like, I can't remember the first time I've been this happy after we've lost a game.
They have to add on to it, but the people that made at least the comparisons to Texas in 12, I get it. There's some ways where I got to kind of see more to think that's what's coming or that's what's going on. But I do get, you score a lot of points. There's some excitement on the field. It's a new era where it at least feels similar to that did when Texas wrecked them, but they scored a lot of points and they at least gave effort for 4 quarters. And you went, okay, that's something you can kind of see where it goes from there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was a freshman in 12 when we played Texas, and it was exciting. And even with a stadium that wasn't full or anything, the fans were so into it. And I know they were pumping in crowd noise and stuff, but we felt like the people were into it a whole lot more than they have been in the past. It felt loud and not crowd noise loud. Like, people around us were screaming and were really excited and everything like that.
Yeah, we talked about that. I mean, on TV, it sounded like people were into it. I could see why people would be into it. It was a fun product. I mean, they're not where Florida is yet, obviously, but it was a fun product to watch.
And we were sitting next to the Florida fans, and Dan came and waved at us towards the sideline. And I know that, Neal, especially you, are a fan of Dan Mullen, but I will never be a fan of Dan. And the crowd, our fans got into it a lot when he was waving at the Florida fans.
Yeah, I don't know that I would say I'm a fan of Dan Mullen. I just think he's a good coach.
Close personal friend, really.
Yeah, we're buddies, and we talk a lot.
Yeah, I that's what I heard, that you are
true.
best pals.
We are tight.
Kisses.
What's Dan's wife's name?
Megan.
Do you think Megan, if I just ran onto the field, she'd give me a big kiss?
Probably so. My mom
got a good shot at any. So. Sure.
She's an equal opportunity kisser.
Sure, why not?
And towards the end of the game, they had written on their whiteboard, like, Pitts is out for the game. So, I mean, we knew that they knew the game was over, but the crowd was still into it.
Yeah, I mean, Pitts was really good. When you coming up again, Allie?
Yeah. Well, we're definitely not coming for the Alabama game, but we will be there for the Auburn game.
Okay.
All right. Well, we hope to talk to you then and before then as well.
All right. Talk to y'all later.
Thanks. Bye, Allie. Someone actually left a voice message. I don't even know if there's any way to play that on our Skype.
I think there is. Hit it. I'm a little scared for you to hit it, but
let's see. Here we go. That was it. 4 seconds of nothing.
You guys can leave us voicemails. That is actually a thought. Have a little bit of a voice line.
4 seconds of nothing.
Okay. What game you most intrigued by? It's actually Ole Miss, Kentucky, isn't it?
Yeah, Ole Miss, Kentucky,
and Auburn, Georgia.
And then Auburn, Georgia. Those are the two that I'm really interested in. The rest of them are kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, it's really a dud week other than those two.
I'm a little concerned if the Cubs win tomorrow, that the Cubs will be playing a deciding elimination game on Saturday, and I'm going to be like really torn.
What time would the game be?
They haven't said.
Oh, yeah.
I'm deeply concerned it's going to be 3 o'clock.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah.
We might need an extra laptop around these parts.
Well, I'll have one right here, and I'll deal with it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll be on air at 1 on
1 o'clock
on Saturday. What we do, we'll have some food. We'll have some other things throughout the day. We will again, as Neal said, normal pregame where we just a little more a very segmented show. It went really well last week. We'll do a very similar thing.
Ryan Brown's going to join us. I think Taylor Zarzer is going to join us. Jeff Drummond of Cats Illustrated is going to join us. We'll get you to kickoff. Pete DeWeese will spend the second quarter with us.
We'll have our bourbon of the day.
We'll have our bourbon of the day. We'll have Jeffrey Wright will join us right after the game. We'll talk some football. One of us will get on the Zoom call.
Yeah.
I think, assuming they're going to have a Zoom call.
Yep.
We'll take calls. We'll watch football. We'll just kind of go from there. We'll just try it kind of like we did last week. That's sort of the plan. So we got a minute or two if anybody else wants to call. Otherwise, we'll probably start to say goodnight. We've been with you for a little over 2 hours. I wouldn't know if I'd kept audition open, but I screwed it up.
Open, grab it. It's okay.
It'll be all right. Yeah, people are saying they're trying to call, but I don't see it. I've got the Skype up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 2:38 Saturday start time if necessary. That's what I was afraid of.
Oh, that's not a good time for you at all.
No. All right, we got one. We'll take one or two more. Hey, caller, who's this? Hey, caller, who's this? We lost him.
Yeah.
That's not good. 2:38 Cubs.
That
Marlins.
could be a problem for young McCready over here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll figure it out, but I'm not gonna lie. I'll be distracted. I mean, I could sit here and tell you that I'm not, but I will be.
It might be kind of really good entertainment though to watch you watch the game.
Watch an elimination game.
This doesn't count like a lot of years though.
No,
like,
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
The only thing about this for the Cubs is that this is the end of an era for a group that I have an emotional attachment to.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Big Ben and Laurel.
Hey, Big Ben, what's up? What's happening?
Just calling in. Want to talk some baseball. I'm
Okay.
a big Braves fan, so
Okay.
Y'all got to beat the Marlins though. You Cubs.
Yeah, I don't like the Cubs' chances to win 2 games. Frankly, I'm not sure they're going to win 1 game, but I don't think the Cubs.
Well, it's not like the Marlins haven't gotten the Cubs 2 in a row before.
Yeah, I don't think the Cubs beat the Braves. I don't think the Marlins beat the Braves. I think the Braves are just better. Anderson was terrific today.
Well, right now it's Freed, Anderson, and pray for another season. I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with it, but
yeah. Well, the Cubs are kind of that way too. It's Darvish, Hendricks, and after that it's. I mean, Alec Mills has thrown a no-hitter, but he's gotten hit hard. John Lester is – I will always, forever have a soft spot in my heart for John Lester, but he's not who he used to be.
Yeah, I think the Braves with Soroka probably are right behind the Dodgers, but now I think the Padres, a couple other teams, or Rays for sure are better.
Well, San Diego might have to worry about it in a minute.
Yeah, San Diego's in trouble, bud. They're down to their last 11 outs against you-know-who.
Yeah. So y'all are definitely better than the Marlins, but the Marlins have never lost a playoff series, so that's scary.
I know.
Strangest stat in the world.
Incredible.
I mean, think about it. The Braves went 14 in a row, and then the Marlins won the wild card twice, won 2 World Series, and the Braves won 1. So.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about the Marlins and their playoff history.
All right. So I noticed Chase was talking about Mickey Callaway as coaching the Braves earlier. Not the Braves, I mean
Ole Miss.
Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah. So I actually was looking into it. I was thinking a major league guy would never step down to coach college baseball, and I actually looked at it. Mickey Callaway made $950,000 with the New York Mets. Bianca makes $1.2 million.
That is correct. Yeah, Mike makes more than Mickey. Mickey, I forget the number, and I don't know if it was Mike or somebody else, but somebody that made around Mike's salary. Made more than 5 to 7 Major League Baseball coaches, depending on how, or managers, depending on how you wanted to phrase the salary for the Major League managers. It was 5 to 7.
Because if you just look at the big three, to me, I've always thought like the gap between college and professional was the biggest in baseball. But you look at pitching coaches, they make like $300,000, and then Mike Bianco makes $1.2 million. Major League pitching coaches. So that's actually a realistic drop down, I guess.
Once you do it, you're saying I'm no longer a major league coach.
Yeah.
So your career, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you can, but you're kind of admitting that at that moment in time, that's no longer what you're doing, and that's not a career path you're still pursuing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, as an Ole Miss guy, I just want W's. I don't really care who the manager, how the coach is. So.
Well, I get that.
So, anyway, hopefully. It'd be better for you, so you have the Cubs to watch against the Braves, because I think the Braves will beat the Cubs tomorrow either way. It's just the Dodgers are going to kill us no matter what. So hopefully we can make it past that division series.
Yeah, I don't think the Cubs have what it takes to beat the Braves in a 5-game series. I mean, I guess it's conceivable that Darvish pitched really, really well. I mean, Hendricks can tie people up. The Cubs' problem, and Chase and I talked about it the other day, is that they can't score runs consistently.
Well, I think the Braves' problem is they take some pitches but they do like to strike out a lot. Like they'll strike out on 3-2 counts more than anybody, I think. So if the Cubs can just do what the Reds do and hit someone, if the Cubs get 3 runs, they're in it to me.
Fernando Tatis Jr. just hit a 3-run homer at 6-5 now. Cardinals over the Padres. Forgive me for the celebration.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
I enjoyed it.
For the dads on that. So.
I cheer for the dads too. Hey, thanks for the call. Really appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
You too.
We've had a 901 number trying over and over and over to call. I have no idea who it is. Tatis is an absolute beast.
Is it Zach or Jeffrey?
Who do we have?
You have. I called in as soon as Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a home run. I saw your live reaction, but I just want to know, how do you feel about actually watching some regular season baseball right now?
Regular season?
Yeah, the opening day was yesterday.
Yeah.
When 16 get in, that's actually true. It's.
I will say this, you know how much I hate the best fans in baseball. I will say this. So the game tipped off at wherever the first pitch was at 4:00. I got home yesterday right in the middle of the bottom of the first, and I flip on the TV and it's 4-1 Cardinals. And I just had that thought of, God, this team is just the best. You know what I mean? Every other team I root for just kind of lets me down. It sucks. So I was just
the Cardinals don't. They've cut a deal with the devil generations ago. I mean, it's the damnedest thing. Because this is a good Cardinal team, but it's not a great Cardinal team. It's super flawed.
As long as I didn't cut the deal with the devil, I'm totally fine with it. You know what I mean? I don't even It's one of those things where it is fitting that the only team that I do truly love, the team that I hate I also hate our fans most. I do feel like that actually puts me even with God.
Well, here's what's crazy.
Right.
Whether anybody wants to admit it or not, the best team in the Central got eliminated today in Atlanta, and they are so much better than the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Brewers, and they're gone. It's crazy.
23 innings without scoring.
I don't know, and that's a great lineup. I mean, it's got a bunch of good players in it. I mean, Senzel's a good player. Castellanos is a good player. Votto, Suarez, that Winkler. That's a good team. It's beyond. It speaks volumes to the pressure of playoff baseball, and it also speaks volumes to how good the Braves pitching was.
It was, and that's the thing. With Bauer yesterday, if I'm Bauer, I'm sitting there going, I'm going to keep up my end of the deal and say I'm only signing wherever I sign, it's a 1-year deal because
it's what he should do. It's what he should do.
Yesterday.
He's got a rubber arm. If I'm him, I take out an insurance policy and I do a 1-year deal and I wait for the industry to reset and I go get my money.
Yes, and I completely agree with you because for all the Braves jokes and whatnot, the team that played like the Braves historically yesterday was the Reds. I mean, think about how many opportunities. They had bases loaded. I think bases loaded, no outs, didn't get a run, and then I believe they had bases loaded with 1 out, still didn't get a run. It was almost as it was very much like when we were discussing the Kentucky game last week. I felt like they were trying to lose.
They were
pressing.
Yeah, that was the word I was going with too.
When you haven't played in the playoffs, one of two things happens.
And it's your Bauer game.
Why are we so afraid to use that word? Why are we so afraid to say they choked?
I don't know that it's choke. I just think it's press. It's different words. I mean, they knew they had to win the.
How is choke any different than pressing? Because in the end, pressing, all that means is the magnitude of the moment is making me perform in a way that's different. That is the exact same thing. We've all played sports. We know when the moment gets too big. We all know. Oh, my God.
Manny Machado crushed that. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
they're legitimately good.
We were 5 seconds ahead of you there.
Tatis Machado, that is a hell of a back. Carson and I went to Chicago last year and saw a series with the Padres and the Cubs, and Fernando Tatis Jr. stole the show the whole weekend.
Well, here's the thing, though, gentlemen. This is the most important thing that I've learned in sports. You have to tell a story. And the fact that the Cardinals would have led the entire series, literally from the first inning on, like they had to give themselves some odds. And so this is what's fantastic. My wife is claiming the reason why all these bad things are happening is because I called in to brag, which is actually not the case. I literally called in to see what Neal's reaction would be in live time. But this is also the psyche of a lifelong Ole Miss fan where she just thinks bad things are going to happen, in which I would respond to her, David Freese is an experience that cannot be explained. And David Eckstein being a World Series MVP is an experience that cannot be explained. The ghost of Jared Weaver becoming an effective pitcher just because he put some birds on the bat on the front of his chest.
Jason Marquis.
To be a Cardinal. Yeah. Like, you can't explain it. Like, being a Cardinal fan is just the best. Like, we're not always the best roster, but you never have to worry about your team actually not delivering. Like, we may get beat because our roster is just not good enough. We don't choke.
Good God.
That was a rocket.
Listen, it's just a fantastic experience.
It's a missile.
I don't think this has been brought up, this last baseball take. Do y'all realize now Fires is going to pitch against the Astros?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he sure will. That's awesome.
That's a do you believe in God bet? You have to bet the A's that day. Just this, like, you got to test God.
If there's any karma deal, that's the one, right?
Exactly.
Like that's.
I'll be following Trevor Bauer on Twitter that day.
Yeah, that is just truly like if you do exist, God, you will let me win this bet.
You'll prove it today. Yeah, no doubt. If Oakland wins that game 13-0 and Fires throws a no-hitter, you're going to be like,
okay,
hey, all you atheists out there, you might want to reconsider.
Yeah. Just so you know, he's still up there. Just so you know. He's still up there.
We'll talk to you Saturday. Thanks, man.
All right.
Yep.
Nope.
Oh, off the wall.
He just missed it.
That's going to be 2, though. All right. Well, we'll cheer for the Padres as we move on.
Yep.
Again, appreciate it. Really good show tonight. All the truckers, Grind, Alley, all our favorites, our new friend in Fort Smith, Arkansas, Bubba, and more. So we'll be with you again a lot on Saturday. So same bat time, same bat channel, and we'll talk to you then. Putting at rebelgrove.com.
Yeah, we'll have a soft verbal to you tomorrow. We'll talk some recruiting. Ole Miss has had a big week on the recruiting trail. We'll get Zach on to tell us what it means. We'll talk to him, and Chris Landry and I will have an SEC football and beyond. We'll preview the weekend to come, including Ole Miss and Kentucky. That game, as Chase was saying, 3 o'clock. We'll be on with you at 1 o'clock, and we'll stay with you for a long time Saturday. So for Chase Parham, I'm Neal McCready. We'll be with you on Saturday. Until then, take care.